chasing the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up! It's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better me. Better believe in your mind, cause it's everything. You can mold, shape, find almost anything. All it takes is some time and some clarity to find your identity. It's mind over everything. And when I feel like this, I'm immortal. 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 Don't stop, don't stop.
Hello everybody, good evening, how we all doing? Hope we're all having a fantastic weekend. I know, it's almost over, it's Monday tomorrow, sigh, but that's alright. We got a really epic race for everybody here tonight from the Infinite Racing League IRL, ladies and gentlemen, of course, partnered with Coach Dave Academy, here on ACCPS5 version. Now, been a pretty interesting series here so far from the IRL and the America's GT3 Sunday Challenge that we've been broadcasting here this season. And I suspect that our race here tonight is not going to be any different. On the screen in front of you, you can see a little bit of a look at what Mount Panorama looks like. So the TV crew doing some work here and behind the scenes to give everybody a little bit of a look at what the track looks like before all the racers come and tear up this absolutely beautiful, beautiful racetrack. So tonight, two things are going to happen here. We've got a battle of the drivers versus the drivers, and we got a battle of the drivers versus the mountain. Going to be interesting to see. I'm not sure how many drivers are registered for the race here this evening, but we're just going to see how it goes. We've been seeing very steady 25 plus grids here so far in the series, but Mount Panorama tends to shy some drivers away, so we'll have to see if the grid fills up here tonight or not. Mount Panorama is a difficult racetrack. I find it a lot more fun on ACC, actually. Probably the biggest reason, of course, to that is because you get to tune your cars, so you can kind of make the car a little more comfortable around the racetrack and grab the racetrack a little bit better. But I'm just watching some practice runs go down here, and boy, I seen a wreck that was pretty epic right when I hit the go live button here tonight. So I think we're in for a juicy, juicy race. So let's talk about the series here for just a minute. I just got to bring up the juicies. My computer's lagging a little bit for sure. Alright, well, while the computer thinks and computes and does what it does, let's find you some details here. Okay, let's get a little right up here. So we have Zolder in the rain. It was a tough race, 27 cars with 3.5 seconds in pace, a tight track, and a wall of spray from the wet track made for an eventful first lap. Now, if we remember, that was last week's round 5 race, 80 minutes at Zolder, and it was raining non-stop. Pretty crazy race. We got a lot of feedback from the community, and it wasn't. The community seemed to really enjoy that race. So, GG's to the drivers. What do we got? We got a 60-minute race here tonight, ladies. A 60-minute practice, which we're just at the tail end of here. There's approximately 11 minutes remaining in that free practice, and then we'll move into a 20-minute qualifying run, and then from there we're going to move into a 90-minute endurance race. And I mean, if we're going to race on Bathurst, you gotta put some time on that race. So I think that was a great call here by the admin staff here at the Infinite Racing League. So we're going to see 90 minutes of Bathurst here, and it's going to be a pretty crazy race, I think. The pit stop requirements for tonight is a 1 stop required. It is optional tires and fuel. So the stop is required. What the drivers opt to do with that stop is up to them. Now, let's talk about that a little bit. You probably could take enough car in most of these cars to do a 90-minute race on a no stop, but is that the right thing to do? Probably not. Why? You're going to add a lot of extra unnecessary weight to your race car on a very tough racetrack with a pretty large grid. So maybe not the ideal strategy. So I do suspect we'll probably see the majority of the drivers take a maybe 70 to 75% fuel load on the first run. If they decide to pit early, that's fine because the fuel load is still there, and then they'll come in and add that remaining fuel that they figure or factor in, of course, via information from the team and everything that happens throughout the race, how much more fuel to add in on the second stop. And some drivers will take tires and some drivers will not. So again, that's going to be down to each driver and each team what they decide to do here this evening. But it should be pretty interesting. No live picks on stream. All right, how we all do it, everybody? So we got about 9 minutes remaining of practice. So let's talk about our racetrack a little bit here, I believe. Maybe I do not. Alright, let's bring something up for everybody. Let's talk about, we have something a little extra here that IRL hasn't seen before. So let's toss that up on the screen for everybody. Alright. So here we go, a little track map of Dragon Trail Seaside, or not Dragon Trail Seaside, Mount Panorama. Wow, where's my brain today? Mount Panorama here. So again, this is compliments of Miss Devious. She is an administrator, or special operations administrator here at GT45 Gaming, and she has come up with some great track maps here. Now, this track map, of course, is based off of Gran Turismo 7 platform, but the track hasn't changed in ACC compared to GT7 as far as the track itself goes. So the track itself, the map works. So let's talk about Mount Panorama a little bit. We have a little bit of time remaining here, so let's get the skinny down, shall we? Pretty interesting racetrack for any of us who are true race fans and watch GT World Racing. We have all enjoyed supercar racing here around Mount Panorama, the GT car, race cars, club cars, all the stuff that they throw on this racetrack. So it provides for really interesting racing. It's a combination of very technical and patient racing and then wide open side-by-side racing. So one half of the track is good for making moves, and the other half of the track is, well, how patient can you be? So, on the screen in front of us here, ladies and gentlemen, is Mount Panorama Motor Racing Circuit. It is a 3.86 mile track, or 6.21 kilometers. It has 23 left and right hand turns. It is a tarmac road type. It is a world circuit, and it has an elevation change of 570 feet. Now, it is called Mount Panorama, and these drivers do climb and descend this mountain throughout this racetrack as well. So, let's do a little walkthrough. On the left hand side of the screen on the track map, you'll see a little red 1 and a little red 8 circled there. In between that is a blue circle with a white arrow pointing downwards. That is our start finish line here at Mount Panorama. From there, the drivers will take off, and that takes us into Hell Corner, corner number 1. That is on the very bottom left of the track map. That is a 90-degree left-hand corner that takes us into a fairly lengthy straight, 0.69 mile straight to be accurate, and it's called the Mountain Straight. From there, that takes us into the entry into the mountain. That takes us into turn 2, which is Griffin's Bend, and then that takes us into the cutting, and that's a little bit of a high-speed, slow-speed, back into a high-speed section. You're very, very tight to walls. There is enough room for 2 cars to go through there. Highly not recommended, however. We'll see how it goes tonight. That then takes a starting uphill climb into Quarry Corner. From there, you got to be careful. You get on the power a little too early with the undulations of the mountain climb, and it could unsettle the race car. If your tires aren't up to temperature yet, it could be a bad news, and then boy oh boy, you pile up the whole field in the mountain, and we got ourselves a situation. From there, that takes us down into Reed Park, turns 7, 8, and 9 leading into Solomon Park, and Frog Hollow, of course, the corner kind of separating all that. And then from there, that takes us up into Skyline and McPhillamy Park, of course, on the other side of the racetrack there. But Skyline is just that downhill run now into the bottom section or the descent of the mountain. The Skyline takes us right to turn 11. From there, we start moving downhill in a set of S's. That takes us down into the Dipper. It's a hard, quick left-hander. It just drops in immediate elevation to cars. A lot of these cars we're going to see bottom out in that corner here tonight, and that really does unsettle the race cars as well. From there, we go through a series of smaller S's into Forest Elbow. That takes us up into the Conrod Straight, which is a massive straight here on Mount Panorama. From there, that takes us into corners 20 and 21. The Chase, number 7 in red there, ladies and gentlemen. And that is a little chicane leading up into the final corner here, Murray's Corner, which is a turn 23, and then boom, bada bing, bada boom. We go back around and do it all over again. A rough estimate of a lap time here for the average race car driver, of course, is going to be about 2 minutes, maybe a minute 59 if you're really on the top end of that average pace. Our alien drivers here probably going to see 56s and 57s. I mean, in all honesty, maybe even faster. But yeah, a little bit about Mount Panorama. We'll throw that back up for everybody a little bit later in the race. Hello, I am not consistent here to handle racing plus times. It's all good, Racer. It's all good, Racer 14. Ooh, fancy, says Darmel. How's that for a live pick? You like that, my dude? So again, compliments to Miss Devious here from GT45 Gaming coming in with the track maps and that was, just all that hard work and love that she does here behind the scenes. So yeah, we got a little extra fun for everybody tonight. So let's remove that. Let's let you all take a look at what's happening in behind the scenes. So there we go. We'll turn some audio on for everybody. Ooh, hey, some race car sounds. All right, so on board right now currently with Darmel. And this is just free practice here, ladies and gentlemen. You can see on the top center of the screen there's a little bar there. On the left-hand side of that, you'll see a timer moving down, 4 minutes, 12 seconds. Just because I'm on you doesn't mean you can start hitting the walls now. Come on. With about 4 minutes left, and then we will move into a cool-down session, which I think is about 3 minutes. And then that moves us into a 20-minute qualifying run, so should be interesting. Let's turn those down just a wee tiny little bit so I don't go deaf. Fantastic. All right. How we all doing? Joe coming in with that thumbs up on the stream. We got Ali coming in with the follow as well. I was off stream. So I'm just going to do a little check here. Make sure everything's running prim and proper. Facebook and GT45 Gaming YouTube is looking solid. The IRL YouTube is looking solid. Fantastic. So if you are not a subscriber over at the IRL YouTube, of course we are live and broadcasting over on the IRL YouTube channel as well, so you can also see this race over there. Head over to YouTube and just put in in all lowercase IRL Sim Racing, and bada bing, bada boom, you got the page, ladies and gentlemen. You can also see the broadcast live from there. Really would appreciate that extra support for our Infinite Racing League as well, as they work very hard here to provide great quality ACC races every weekend for us to watch. We got some little fun for everybody here tonight. We got a little something we're going to show everybody when we get to the right driver here tonight, of course. I don't know if he's in this race or not. If not, we'll display it at some point in the stream. But we got something new coming to our IRL broadcast as well. And I think this is going to be a lot of fun. So stay tuned and let me know if you catch something new. Besides the track map, of course, ladies and gentlemen. That's just something we happen to have sitting in our files here on the computer, because that is one of the tracks that, of course, our great admin has covered already. So it was there for us to be able to use. Vic coming in with that thumbs up. How you doing, Vic? Big 6 thumbs up set. Appreciate you, my guy. Appreciate you. So everything does look like it is flowing nicely here. We see you over there on the IRL YouTube as well. We appreciate everybody here tonight. All right, so as you can see on the screen, it's about a minute and a half, a little plus, remaining until we go back to the garage. We'll go check out our driver field, and then we'll get ready for some 20 minutes of qualifying here. So it's going to be a interesting night here at Mount Panorama. If Zolder is any inclination of what we could see here tonight, minus the rain, of course, Mount Panorama providing its own set of challenges. I think we're in for another good race. 90 minutes. We do know that obviously drivers are going to make mistakes here, especially in the early goings of the race. Bottled up in traffic. There's going to be dirty air factoring in, cold tires. There's going to be a lot of things happening. The field will probably separate a little bit throughout the middle part of the race. Then we're going to see some of the lead lap traffic contending with what we consider blue flag traffic or back markers. I hate that word, but that's what most people understand it as. And that could provide some challenges because there's only so many spots, especially coming up through the section. We see Darmel coming through uphill, up the mountain here right now, and this is Quarry Corner here. There's just not a lot of room to let a driver through here safely. So lead lap traffic's going to have to hope that they catch traffic in the right spot to quickly get around them. If not, they might get hung up for a sector around the racetrack. And then we come through Skyline right here, and that takes us downhill in through the S's and into the Dippers. So a big S section here, you're under braking, trying to get the throttle rhythm down, get the car turned, and then you just got this drop right here at his left-hand dipper. And unfortunately, the cameraman missed it there. And then it takes us through the final part of some downhill S's into Forest Elbow right here. This hard 180-degree left-hand corner, which takes us out into the Conrad Straight. And this is just where these cars get to open it up. They get to absolutely unleash the power underneath the hood and let that exhaust roar down this straight for all the fans to listen to and enjoy as they roar up this absolutely high-speed straight. I'm not sure what we're going to see here for speeds tonight, but right now I'm seeing about 170, what are we at, 171 to about 173 miles an hour coming into the chicane there. So the chase, ladies and gentlemen, and of course then twice now, haha. 7th place, here's Darmel. This is Murray's Corner. This is our final and 23rd corner of the racetrack here. So just to relate back to the track map tiny little bit here as Darmel goes around, and we'll go 2-minute wait time here. So we're going to see the drivers jump off track. You can see there's a runaway lane here at the before the corner, I guess, of turn 1, so to speak. So if the drivers can't make the corner, there's a little run out lane that they can use to slow down without contact into a wall. So there's a little bit of safety precautions in a couple of the spots here on the racetrack, and we do call that Hell's Corner as well, corner number 1. And this is Mountain Straight that Darmel's coming out of, and that takes us into Griffin's Bend. From there, of course, now that starts leading us up in the mountain. That takes us into this next set of corners, which we call the cutting. And essentially, it's kind of a good name because really all you're doing is just cutting the corners while you're kind of just letting the throttle control you down. From there, that takes us uphill. This is all Quarry's Corner right here. There's a little series of uphill corners. And then that takes us out into Reed Park, of course. And this is the first little bit of open run that the drivers get. From there, we move up into Sulman Park. That's on the top sector of the mountain here. And then down in through Skyline McPhillamy Park on the right side, of course. And then again, back downhill through the S's. That takes us into the Dipper. And Darmel's going to quit it there. And of course, the game's saying, yep, that's it, guys. Get ready to launch. So, going to be an interesting race here tonight, without a question of a doubt. Bathurst always provides great racing. There's going to be some great moments here for sure tonight. And, well, this is ACC, so the damage is much more real on ACC, so I think that the carnage should be pretty juicy. So I believe Darmel is our first driver out on track here, so we're going to stay on board with Darmel as he comes around. So we're going to see an outlap. Obviously that outlap won't count for an official qualifying time as the drivers haven't completely done a full circuit lap, so that gives the guys an opportunity warm up their tires, get their brakes warmed up, make sure the tune's all fine and dandy in the car, make sure the car's feeling good, and then they can send this thing for the next roughly 18 minutes around the racetrack to try and get the best time. Now, in this type of race, you definitely ideally want to try to start at the front of the pack, try to get away as quick as you can, try to stay out of that mid-pack battling as you come into the mountain, especially the first 2, 3, maybe half dozen laps here. I mean, a red flag situation is always ever so apparent here in Mount Panorama, so oh boy, that was a massive hit there from Darmel, and we got a yellow flag there, and he's going to get that thing off the racetrack and get it out of the way. So there we go. We can see how tough the mountain can be here, as we've already seen one of our qualifiers have to take that car in. They're going to have to get a service done on that thing. They're going to get it back out on track. So it was a pretty tough hit there for Darmel for sure. Rough stuff. Alright, I'm going to turn the game volume up just a little bit more. It seems a little low to me. You guys tell me if I'm wrong. We do appreciate the feedback as well. Just got a couple things going on behind the scenes here. Just bear with me for 1 minute. Alright. So, let's take a look and let's see who's here tonight. So you can see that yellow flag coming up an awful lot on the top left-hand side of the screen there. And let's get you to the big screen here too. Oop, there we go. A little more action there. And let's move that right there. So you guys can see the speedo information. Alright, fantastic. So, the big Toblerone, he is driving the Aston Martin here today. Who else we got on track? We got MFI, he's in that Nissan GTR as well, so the GTR back on track tonight. That's fantastic to see. We've got Cletus in that BMW. We're going to see a few of these, I'm sure, in the field tonight. Got Rapid Duck, he's also in a BMW here. He had an interesting race last week in Zolder as well. Tango 2, another BMW driver here on track as well. He had a pretty good finish last week. We got Team Ferrari, and we're just going to pretend that nothing happened there. We've got a Bentley on the racetrack here with Hi My Name Is. We've got Norris Vet, he's in Team Ferrari. He's been in Ferrari all season long. We've got Carsonic also in a Ferrari here to battle the mountain with tonight. Fluka, he's in that very stylish looking Ferrari. Had that podium finish last week, so hoping that this design's going to get him back there again here this week maybe. And of course a nice livery always helps find a little bit of time on the racetrack, ladies and gentlemen. So, you know, there's always that. We got JDR here in 17th position as well. We've got Butler Racing here in well, I mean, we talk about paint jobs. This is a pretty snazzy looking paint job. Let's stick with this guy here for a second as we got this Lamborghini coming through. That's pretty beautiful looking as he's coming down the racetrack here. Oh yes, fantastic shot, cameraman. Thank you very much. Watch out for this guy. That's a great paint job. He could be quick. Could be quick. You just never know. Gal blocks him here, and very quick driver. He's just chilling right now. Oh, that looks like he's just going to pull out of pit lane. He's going to start running his qualifying. Oh, that's Johnny B coming out of pit lane here, so he's going to run his qualifying. We may have some drivers potentially maybe on a qualifying ban. I'm not 100% sure on that, but it happens sometimes. So Darmel's coming back out, and he's going to attempt it again here. We're at about the same spot we see him last time, but a little better result here this time, it looks like, as we're coming down through the dipper right here. And for some reason, the camera guy doesn't want to give us a great shot of that, so we may have to jump on board maybe here with Darmel as he comes around. So let's stick on board with Darmel. We'll let Darmel take us around for a lap around Mount Panorama here on board here on ACC PS5 tonight again. This is presented by the Infinite Racing League, partnered with Coach Dave Academy, and I am your host for the evening, GT45 Gaming. Family-friendly broadcast here for everybody tonight. It's going to be a lengthy one, 90-minute race. Started off with the 20-minute qualifier, which is underway here now. We're about 5 minutes in, and boy, Darmel is just not in that rhythm here right now. And let's get off the poor guy so we can go have a clean lap here. Let's jump on board with Rigo here as he's in 9th place, and he's in the Porsche. So let's see how the Porsche handles here around Mount Panorama. And it's going to be interesting to see how the time gaps are once we get going, but unfortunately, I have limited capabilities currently here on PS5 version of the spectator mode, so we can't quite bring up all the juicy information we would normally like to be able to touch at a button for everybody. But as time goes on, of course, they will get that sorted out. So we're getting a blue flag situation in qualifying. That's interesting. All right. Porsche driver coming through. So this is the dipper, not right here. You can see him getting ready. He's going to let that car go through, and it's actually MFI up in the GTR ahead that just went through the dipper there. And it looks like these cars got the suspension dialed in pretty good for that corner. We're not seeing a whole lot of tension from the cars so far that have gone through there. And he's just going to settle back in behind, so maybe not having the best of lap. Realizes that MFI is coming down on a nice hot lap. Great respect showing there by Rigo to get out of the way as quickly and safely as he could to let MFI through in a very difficult sector as well. So we're on board with our Aston Martin driver, the big Toblerone here now. He's currently sitting in 7th place right now in qualifying, and we'll try to get to as many drivers as we can. And I don't see the driver on track that I was hoping we were going to see tonight, so we'll bring that little special thing up here in just a little bit. So, all right, it's tense moments coming down the mountain here all the time. It's tough business here at Mount Panorama, and there you go, just getting that car unsettled a little bit. And oh boy, it is going to be a difficult race here, I think, tonight. And right now, our GTR driver, MFA, who we just seen go around our Porsche driver, they're just coming around Hell's Corner, corner 1 on Mountain Straight here right now. Sitting in 2nd place right now on the racetrack. So, it's going to be an interesting race. Some of these drivers, already the mountain is beating them up. So we'll have to see if they can overcome the mountain here today. Don't know who to expect to win here today. I really don't. It's anybody's guess. Consistency is really going to be key. Obviously, keeping the car out of trouble is going to be key. So race start really is vital for every one of the drivers on the grid here tonight. They need to prioritize. The close call right there as MFI gets through. Very tense situation right there, and you can see that's how quickly it happens in front of you. Now imagine 14 or 15 cars all bundled up in that situation. We've got ourselves a situation, so it's it's going to be an interesting race. Oh, and just a clipping the wall, and you can see how quickly that threw offline right there, and that's going to probably squash that lap. Potentially a little bit of damage on that race car as well. Now that could affect the next lap as well, so some of our drivers struggling here. We got 2nd place now, Cletus, who's jumped ahead of MFI in the GTR, and this is our BMW driver. So right now we got Rapid Duck and Cletus sitting in 1 and 2, and those are both BMW drivers. So BMW proving to be very strong once again this week. It has proven to be a pretty strong competitor each week so far. But Audi's really the one that have been the ones to really look out for. It seems like over the long run, the Audi really does seem to come alive. So these Audi drivers will definitely have to watch out for. We got a 90-minute race here today, so a lot of patience and some smooth driving. And again, it's anybody's game. It's going to come down to a little bit of a slide right there for Cletus, dropping down a position there. I'm not Tango 2 taking 2nd place away here as he comes across the line. So as we're about halfway around here, moving into Skyline, a close moment there for Cletus. So we'll have to see how he finishes up his lap here, coming down into the S's now. And it's a lot of braking and throttle control through here. Got to get the car turned in right there. And nice job there by Cletus. Suspension is definitely designed for that corner right there. Nice soft drop down the mountain here, and you can see how quickly the elevation changes, and that's really going to be hard on the brakes and the tires here today too as well. Now we head up in through the Conrad Straight. No game audio. Appreciate you, Chris. Appreciate you, my dude. Wants to stream lately again. I'll give you the old blue screen there for a second, and then there we go. Hey, alright, Chris Reeves coming in with that thumbs up as well. Alright, so coming through the chase there, he's just got one more corner and he's going to get across that start-finish line. We got Murray's corner right here, and this is a tricky corner. You got to be careful how early you get on the power. You might blow a little bit wide there, and then you meet up with the wall. Well, that's going to give you a little damage, cost you a little time. And what was that lap there? 2:03.4 there for Cletus, and that's actually good enough to put him back up into 2nd place currently here. Rapid Duck is our pole sitter here. Let's get back out to our RTV crews. Tango 2 sitting in 3rd. We've got, I don't even know what to say. I don't know. We'll call him we'll just call him Acast, because I'm not exactly sure what all that's supposed to say, but family friendly broadcast, come on now. No, it's nothing bad. It's just not exactly sure how to say that. But in the BMW, nonetheless, driver number 44, we've got Hi, My Name Is What? We've got Norris Vet. He's finally out on track here now, so he's going to give it a run. Carsonic, he's just coming down in through the bottom sector of the mountain, just going into the dipper there. Oh, yellow flag being waved and down, so everything must be clear up ahead of him here. Drivers are really going to have to be hyper aware here today. They're going to be paying attention to their crew radios and what their spotters are telling them from what their spotters can see. They're really going to have to pay attention to those flags on the racetrack coming around. There's a lot of blind corners when you're coming around Mount Panorama here, and if you're unsuspecting and come around at the wrong time in the wrong line, it could be disastrous for your race. So we got Johnny B coming around here in that Audi in 8th place. Let's stick with Johnny B here for a minute as we come up into Quarry's Corner. Taking us up into Reed Park here now as well. So our first little straight run, then we have this corner that takes us up into I forgot what it was all of a sudden. McPhillamy Park, and then the S is of course Sullivan Park, and then McPhillamy Park, of course, with Skyline. I like to call that. I know it as Skyline better. We got Johnny B coming down through the S's. He's gonna jump in through the dipper and then back up in Forest Elbow. So it doesn't look like it takes long to get around this racetrack, but it is about a 2-minute lap. The average driver, that is a 2-minute plus lap. For somebody who's a little more dialed in with the racetrack and has a little more courage going up and down through the mountain sector, will be able to find maybe some high to mid 50s, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, but right now from what I'm seeing, it's only 2-minute laps here so far, unless I'm wrong. Got yellow flag up on the racetrack here again. That doesn't necessarily mean it's in front of this driver, it just means there is a yellow somewhere on the racetrack. So Johnny B is going to come around. It's going to be P3 as he comes through the line there. So he grabs up 5 spots from 8th place. So definitely finding some good time there. And what was that time there? It was a 203.7 it said. We had a 203.982 from Darmel last time around, and that's got him in 4th place here as well. So driver's doing pretty good here as he comes into Skyline right now to start his descent down the mountain. And it looks like Amify just in behind him there as well in that GTR. So it looks like a good lap here so far as he's coming down through the mountain. Nice good turn out there coming out of Forest Elbow and the Conrad Straight. So charging up the very lengthy high-speed straight here now is that Aston Martin. Let's see what that thing gets up to here on the top end as they're coming up into the chase. You can really see the drivers taking advantage of that little bit of extra track there on the left-hand side as well, just to get a little better turn in. And great looking lap here from Darmel. So Darmel's looking like he's got that car all dialed in. He's going to move it over, get ready for Murray's Corner. Let's see what kind of time he gets here. We got 5 minutes remaining in qualifying. So yeah, with about a minute remaining, we'll go jump down into the garage there, and we'll go see how everybody's sitting as far as their split, the difference in time, etc. All that good stuff. A lot of drivers just chilling out here right now. We've got Rigo, he's in 12th place in the Porsche. Tolbarone here is in 11th in the Aston Martin. We've got car swapping positions all over the place here. We got MFI in 7th here now. Was up in the 2nd there at one point in time in qualifying. Cleat is still sitting in 2nd. Rapid Duck here still in pole position. Tango 2 is now in 5th. He's just coming out of pit lane there. Acast here in 9th place. We've got Hi, My Name Is in the Bentley in 6th place here. And I've driven the Bentley around Mount P a couple of times. It's not a terrible car around here. Again, Norris Vet, he's just chilling. Lots of these guys just chilling right now. Carsonic here in 10th place. Darmel is hot on his chase. We got Fluka here in 8th place. Let's hang out with Fluka here for a minute. I believe it was 3rd place finisher last week. I could be wrong. Solid lap. That was a solid lap for sure, Chris. Just coming out of pit lane last lap, so we can't even gauge what kind of pace Fluka is on here right now. So let's see what Fluka has as we're coming around Murray's Corner here right now. This should, I believe, be a flying lap, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see, it's a 205.2, so not an ideal lap there. That's good enough for still 8th place, but I don't think it's his best lap there yet. Let's, oh, don't hit that button. Let's not hit that button, chat. Right. Alright, there we go. The button that shuts everything down. What is up? No, that's something going on in the background that you guys didn't need to listen to. I do apologize about the cutout in the audio. Murray coming in with a thumbs up. How we all doing? Alright, let's continue on here. Blocks him here in 17th position. We got Roblox here in 11th place. You see, he's just a little, I think he was just letting ACAS through there. I think that was just a small little lift there, so maybe not on the best lap. Let's go on with Johnny B. Here's coming into Skyline right now. Ooh, almost a little bit of a slide coming into Skyline there. Down through the S's, just nice and gentle. Try to catch those curbs. Not too much curb as the wall's right there, but you really do want to leave yourself as much room to get these cars around this very narrow section of the racetrack as efficiently as possible. So now we're coming into Forest Elbow here. You can make that as nice and tight as you can so we can get that nice wide entry. That was a great job there by Johnny B. And that takes us onto the Conrad Straight. So quick driver here is Johnny B. We know that obviously from previous races here so far this season, so he's looking pretty solid here tonight. And drivers are just jumping in and out of pit lane here, maybe making mistakes, maybe changing up their setup, just trying to dial that car in perfectly here for race start. Oh. Alright, 6th place here for ACAS as well. What else we got out? Not too many drivers out here. Carsonic here at 12th place. He's just behind Rigo, who is actually a position in behind him here, currently in qualifying in 13th. So, interesting one there. Let's stick with him as he comes up into Quarry Corner. Whew, you can see those drivers really got to flirt with disaster in a couple spots on the racetrack. You got to get really close to the walls here to really maximize your time and line around Mount Panorama here. So the camera guy's actually giving us a decent shot, except for this angle. I really don't like that angle of the racetrack, but the best they got here for us with what we got at Mount Panorama, I suppose. So got the GTR coming out. That's going to be Fluka coming out in that Ferrari. Fluka sitting now in 10th place. MFI is just his position ahead, actually, there in 9th place. And GTR's got some power there, obviously, as you can see. Coming out of pit lane at a slower rate of speed than Fluka there. Had a hard time getting around in that Ferrari. So the GTR definitely got a little bit of top end in the car there. Roblox, he's in an Audi as well, so we're seeing a pretty heavy BMW Audi field. Doesn't surprise me too much here. Both strong cars, and ooh, just a little touch of the wall there. I think that was a very light touch though, thankfully. That wall can be dangerous there as well. Again, you gotta flirt with disaster on this racetrack to really maximize the racetrack. So got lucky, very fortunate right there as he just nicked the wall. Shouldn't affect his drive or anything like that. Might have cost him a little tiny bit of time and speed, and oh boy, big hit right there as he's coming down in through the dipper. And I take it back, that camera angle was pretty right. That camera angle was pretty right. All right, let's keep it rolling here. There we go, Amavai here, and Fluka. Oh, Fluka nipping the wall coming out of Forest Bend there as well. Heading onto the Conrad Straight, so a little bit of a jostle there, and Fluka's going to allow that GTR just to roll up past, so... Whew, every little driver making those little mistakes. Every little mistake counts in the mountain here, especially in that middle part of the racetrack, so... You got to be patient through that part, and then we get ready to battle it out in the other half of the racetrack where the high speed part kicks in. So should see some moves here in the chase. We'll see some moves into Murray's corner. We'll definitely see some moves into Hell's corner as well, without a question of a doubt. So qualifying is finished. So we do have Rapid Duck here sitting in pole position. It's going to be Darmel to line up beside him. In row 2 is Cletus and Johnny B. In row 3 will be Tango 2 and Acast. It's going to be the Big Toblerone and Hi My Name Is in row 4. In row 5, it's going to be Amave and Fluka. In row 6, it's going to be Roblox and Carsonic. In row 7, it's going to be Rigo and Norris Vet. In row 8, it's going to be Butler Racing and JDR. And in row 9, it's Make It Rain and Bloxham. And in row 10 is going to be I'm Too High for This and Racing Hobo. Oh, those two are spectators. So we got 18 drivers on track. 18 drivers on the racetrack here today. So of our 30 drivers, only 18 wanted to take on the mountain. Well, good points for these drivers. Should give them all a little boost in the standings. So I guess it's the battle of the mountain here tonight. I'm traveling down the road and I'm flirting with disaster. Molly Hatchet, definitely the mantra here at Mount P. Chris, you're a legend, my dude. Alright, so I was asked to give a little sneak peek at something for the drivers here today. So, something new coming from IRL, the Infinite Racing League, moving forward here in the future with, of course, the America GT3 Sunday League. We're going to be presenting something a little fun on screen while we're talking about some of our drivers throughout maybe the race or qualifying, whatever the case may be. So, most importantly, ladies and gentlemen, leave a comment below. What do you think about what we're going to see here? Choco is not on track here tonight, but this is going to be their drivers' racing licenses here we're going to be displaying here throughout the seasons at ACC. So this is Choco himself, one of our administrators here at the Infinite Racing League. He's got his racing license. He's a silver driver right there, as you can see on the screen. And of course, this will be updated as the driver's licenses change throughout seasons. And you can see just a little picture of the car in his driver suit there. And of course, the team, Audi, right there. And Choco Sim Racing at the bottom. So some pretty great work here from the Infinite Racing League. And of course, number 222, it says there up in a thing. 274 here on the car. That's just, I'm not sure why, but driver number 222. Come on, Cleed, let's get it, bud, says Chris. So let us know what you think about the driver cards. We're going to be seeing these for the drivers moving forward in the future. So, well, looks like the staff has a little bit of work to do by the looks of it, eh? Chat, what do you think? All right, so now we got an interesting little situation. We got 18. We'll sit on 9th. So when this 3-minute timer at the top center of the screen finishes here, ladies and gentlemen, what will happen is we'll see all the drivers single one by one, and they'll start to take off from the start-finish line. That's not our race start. That's going to be a virtual formation lap. So there's a virtual safety car in front of the drivers. The drivers have to drive single file around about 75% of the racetrack, so somewhere up towards probably after the chase here on Mount Panorama. We'll see race control give the order for the drivers to start to line up 2 by 2, and of course their qualifying positions. They'll come around that final corner, Murray's corner, and we'll get a green flag drop at that start finish line, and it'll be race time. So 90 minutes around Mount Panorama. The only pit requirement here today is a mandatory pit stop, and there is no mandatory fuel or tires involved, so the drivers do have to stop. But what they choose to do within that stop, entirely up to them. Damage is definitely going to factor in here today. Again, Mount Panorama is vicious. We got several different manufacturers on the racetrack here today. We got BMW, Aston Martin, we've got McLaren, we've got Audi, we've got Bentley, we've got Porsche, we've got Ferrari. I think we even have a Lamborghini in the field. We do have a Lamborghini in the field as well. Am I missing any? We do not have our Lexus driver here today. So, yeah, no, lots of different cars on the field. So it's going to be very interesting. Each car has its own attribute and disadvantage compared to the other cars. Some turn better, some have better low-end torque, some have better high speed. So it's going to be interesting to see how all this factors in. So in 1 minute time, we'll get to hang out on our virtual formation lap here. And that's just going to give these drivers an opportunity to try and get a little bit of air pressure built up in their tires, maybe warm up their brakes a little bit, and, well, get ready to send it, because it's almost race time. 90 minutes on the clock. The clock will not start ticking down until the driver is across the start-finish line on the green flag drop. All right. Oh, we could have went and looked at that, I suppose. Next time. Next time. We want to go back. I need my 9th place driver. I hit a button by accident, apparently. All right, we'll go to Fluka. Close enough. So the reason we try to sit in the middle of the pack at race start here, ladies and gentlemen, especially in ACC with the larger grids, is just to try and make sure that we can see as much of the first few corners as we can from front to back of the pack, and make sure we don't miss anything, well, too important. But again, a little bit limited in our functionality as a spectator right now for broadcasting, so we just kind of throw it where our cameraman throws it, and we take it from there. So you can see race controls let the drivers go here now. So these drivers are going to go single file around Mount P. You'll see them swerving side to side. We'll see them speed up. We'll see them slow down. We'll see them do a few different things here. And again, that's just to try and build some air pressure up in the tires, try to get the brakes warmed up a little bit. They're just trying to get the car ready and is in close to optimal racing conditions right at race start, so they can get and try to maximize grip to try and maximize position very early on in the race. So keys to the race tonight: patience. Again, the big word of the night is going to be patience. The tough circuit, we have to be single file through the mountain, be ready to react if a driver makes a mistake in front of you. That's why we try not to go too wide through the mountain, because it's inevitable too wide through the mountain that one of those two drivers is going to make a mistake. And, well, if there's a bunch of guys coming up in behind, it's going to create a bit of a problem. So I guess we'll have to see how this all goes down here. Intense moments as we're about halfway around our formation lap here tonight. And if you're just tuning in, welcome in. If you're new here, welcome in. We appreciate your support. I'm GT45 Gaming, the host here for the evening. We are live, of course, on GT45 Gaming's YouTube and Facebook channel, and the Infinite Racing League YouTube channel here as well. Coach Dave Academy, great partner here in the Infinite Racing League with our Sunday America's GT3 Cup on ACC PS5. Alright, so we're going to see bottle up a little bit. We're going to see the group really tighten back up through the bottom side of the mountain. And then, well, we'll probably get ready to start seeing them line up 2 by 2. So we got 9 rows of drivers, 18 drivers qualified here this evening for 90 minutes around Mount Panorama. And hey, out of a 30-car grid, to only have 18 guys on track, you're getting pretty good points, even if you're at the back of the pack tonight. So just being on track, you're probably working your way up the standings a little bit here tonight as well. Definitely a potential for a bottleneck situation up and down the mountain. These boys got to keep their heads on a swivel. Absolutely. Absolutely. Chris coming in with the racing knowledge right there, and he is 100% right there as well, ladies and gentlemen. So, got some racers up in the chat, that's for sure. Alright, we're on that Conrad straight, so here we go. I'm assuming it's going to be after the chase that we're going to see these drivers, so once we get through the final chicane, we'll see these drivers start to line up 2 by 2. That makes the most sense in my brain. That definitely doesn't make it right, though. That definitely doesn't make it right. Let me just throw that out there to everybody viewing at home. So Rapid Duck is going to lead the way here on pole position. He's got Darmel sitting there right behind in second place. It's going to be, I believe, Johnny B in third place with Tango 2 in fourth and Acast in fifth. Looks like he's going to be followed up by, I can't remember who's in the Aston Martin, Amavai, Fluka, and then we got Roblox, Carsonic, Norris Vets, and Rigo in the Porsche there. Just in behind. So here we go, we're getting lined up 2 by 2. We're just coming out of the chase. This is about where I suspected to see it. Bloxham starting at the back of the pack here tonight. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, kick them tires, light them fires, let's go racing. We're 2 by 2. We got to get around Murray's corner here, and then we're going to see a green flag drop for 90 minutes of racing. 1 hour 30 minutes on the clock. We're ready to go green at 12:07 p.m. here at Mount Panorama. Let's get to it. Now we're green, and we're off, and here we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, lap 1 here on Mount P. It is Rapid Duck very quickly. We're going to go 3 wide going in L corner. A little bit of contact there, but everybody makes it through. We get a little bottle up. We got Fluka around coming into Hell's corner, and oh boy, I believe that was JDR just in the back there, just getting around. So Fluka's got to get that car turned around here, and he is not having the best race start there. We got one driver coming out of pit lane. Let's get back up into about the midfield here. Let's get on Rigo. So Rigo jumping up into 10th place here as we come into Griffin's Bend. And if we're going to see a bottleneck, we're definitely going to see it here on this first lap. So we got 2 by 2 going up into the cutting. And they're a little bit spaced out, though. So they got enough room to maneuver here still. And everybody's doing pretty safe and sound. A little bit of check up right there as we're all coming through. But it looks like everybody gets through nice and tidy as we head up into Quarry Corner. So, oh boy. It's been pretty good so far. We just had the one incident there so far in turn 1. One driver getting turned around there, but other than that, so far so good it looks like here. As we're going to stay on board with Rigo here until we get all the way through this mountain sector, and then we'll let our TV crews take it from there. So on board with 10th place driver out of 18 drivers here tonight, ladies and gentlemen, our Porsche driver as we're coming down in through the dipper. Great shot by the camera there as all the cars come through. Lamborghini almost sideways through there. Got very fortunate he didn't get caught up in the wall there. And coming around Forest Bend here, and you can see all the cars coming through. It's a great shot right there by the camera crew. And Rigo is kind of in no man's land here right now, but also not the worst place to be. So, where's the cameraman going to take us? All right, going to take us to the big Toblerone in the Aston Martin. And boy, oh boy, has he been a big mover. He started up there in 5th or 6th place and sitting currently here in 3rd place. So making some quick moves here in the Aston Martin. And we got, I believe, a V12 Aston Martin and the V8 Aston Martin here on track as well. So 2 different Aston Martin cars here racing on the racetrack as well today. We've got that BMW with Tango 2, and he sees an opportunity. He's going to go up the inside. Nope, he's going to tuck it back in here as we come out of Murray's corner. So he didn't quite get down on the power like he had hoped there. Let's see if he goes for a move here coming into Hell's corner. No, he's just going to sit in behind. He's going to see if a mistake is going to be made by the big Toblerone there. And pretty good corners there. As you can see, the rest of the field starting to come through there. We got the Bentley just in behind there, I believe, in about 7th place. Great racing here so far early on. So, like I said, so far the worst mistake we've seen was a car get turned around there in turn 1. And hopefully he didn't take too much damage there. We got a battle between the Porsche driver here. And where did it go? No, we wanted to see the battle. Oh, I kind of find it now. I think it was Acast here. I believe it was between these 2 drivers. So Acast starting up, I believe it was in 5th, dropping down all the way to 9th place here. Hi, my name is about in his starting position here currently, I believe, in that Bentley. Very, very close in behind that BMW. We got a nice little train of cars coming up through here with North Pagan Vet in 15th. He's got Cletus there in 16th, right in behind. We got JDR in 17th, just in behind there as well. And Fluka, of course, the driver that did get spun there. We got a yellow flag on the racetrack here. Somebody somebody in trouble here at Mount Panorama, and I think we're going to see a little bit of that here tonight. Got Bloxham now all the way up into P11 already, so starting at the back of the pack, Bloxham was here tonight. We got Roblox up into 6th place, so green flag racing here, so somewhere in the mountain, I think somebody might have gotten into a little bit of trouble there. Johnny B in 5th place when the cameraman decides to catch up. There we go. And he's in that Audi car as well, so a little bit of space between him and the front guys, 2.3 seconds right now. And a whole group of cars really coming down on him here in behind. So Roblox is only 0.8 of a second in behind right now. So right about on the edge of that slipstream range, I would imagine, here at Mount Panorama. I'm not 100% sure what that range is in ACC. I think it probably varies based off each car. Hey, what up, what up? How you doing, Payme? How was your races earlier, my guy? Ooh, did we see a mistake? Nope. Payme coming in with that thumbs up on the stream as well. Legend he is, ladies and gentlemen. So it is a 4th place right now for Johnny B. So somebody making a pit stop there, and he is just going to continue on up the road. So Darmel sitting in 2nd place currently. As soon as cameraman catches up, there we go. And Rapid Duck with about a 3.3 second lead on him here currently right now. So Rapid Duck, well, very quickly being rapid and getting up the road. But Darmel is chasing. He's got Tango 2 sitting right there in 3rd place. And Johnny B just in behind with Roblox just in behind him. So BMW, Aston Martin, BMW, and then 2 Audis here to round out the top 5 of our field so far. We got Make It Rain. Looks like he's coming in for a pit stop there. So things not going so well here for some of our drivers early on. Got on board with Rigo here. He's now up into 9th place. I believe he started in 13th or 14th position. So up a couple of spots here so far early on in the race. But he has Bloxham really all over him here. And Bloxham's a quick driver. So let's stick with this here for a minute and see if we see a move from Bloxham once they come out of the mountain sector here. We'll have to see. And they are not too far off the Toblerone in front of them there as well in the Aston Martin. So you see Bloxham's trying to stay real close here to that Porsche driver right now as they're coming through the final downhill portion of the racetrack here coming into Forest Elbow. Let's see what kind of a run he gets out of Forest Bend here into the Conrad Straight, Forest Elbow into the Conrad Straight. And let's see if he makes a move going into the chase. He is right up in that slipstream, so he is definitely going to be making a move. The question is which side of the track is he going to go on? It's going to put him on the outside coming into the kink, but it's going to give him the inside position in the first part of the chicane at the chase here, and he's going to get the job done just before they get into the chicane here. So MX Bloxham getting the job done there, and he's going to move up into 9th place. So very quickly Bloxham is moving up the racetrack, and the next target now up ahead is Tango 2. So Tango 2 obviously having an issue on the racetrack, dropping all the way down into 8th place, and he has all kinds of pressure on him behind him. Amave is down into 16th, and a little bit of damage on that race car. So ooh, a little bit of a bump there from the curbing here on JDR, and Amave just having to make a little bit of evasive maneuver there as it almost threw that poor Ferrari across the racetrack. And I think Ferrari's coming in. No, he is side by side as we come into Hell's Corner, and Amave is going to move up into 15th position. So that Ferrari light now just a little wounded here, it looks like, as it comes around corner 1. Cletus, he is coming out of pit lane, so not sure what's happened there. Some of our front runners coming into pit lane here. Not sure if there's some damage, a little incident maybe between those drivers, but Rapid Duck now has a 5-second gap on Darmel, who is in 2nd place. So Tango 2, who was sitting in 3rd place, now down into 8th place, and he's got the Audi driver Bloxham trying to chase him down here, and he's trying to catch back up to the big Toblerone here in 7th place up ahead. So we see Make It Rain already in blue flag situation here, having to make an early pit stop here for damage as well. So again, like I said, very quickly on, we're going to see blue flag traffic get involved in this race, and it's going to be tricky to see how these drivers handle that situation here around Mount Panorama. It's all timing when you catch up to that blue flag traffic here. There's a 1.9 second gap here right now on the Aston Martin in front of Big Toblerone of Tango 2 here. So he is, let's see if he's gaining. He's actually losing a little bit of time. So the Aston Martin may be having a little more top end on that BMW here. Let's see if he can gain some time as they come back in through the chase. Nope, it's going to stay about the same. All right, what else we got going on around track here? Let's go with PPY Acast here in 5th place. So about right back to where I believe this driver started here on the grid. And he has a 1.7 second gap on Hi, My Name Is What, and he is not too far off of Roblox and Johnny B, the 2 Audi drivers up ahead, 4 seconds. So we might see a battle actually up ahead there if I can get to it in time. Let's see if our camera crew wants to cooperate with us here and give us a, there we go. Let's get on with Roblox and Johnny B here as they come up into the cutting. And not close enough to make a move, but maybe setting this up here like we saw from Bloxham on, who was it? Who was it? Can't remember. Anyways, nice move that Bloxham set up on our 10th place driver there. Let's see if we see the same thing here from Roblox. The only difference is Roblox is losing a little bit of time here on Johnny B right now. So Johnny B showing to be a little bit stronger on the top side of the mountain maybe than the driver in behind. Let's see how Roblox responds as he's coming down through the downhill part of the mountain here. See if you can tighten back up on that driver a little bit as they come through the dipper there. And it does look like he does exactly that, but is he close enough to get the job done coming onto the Conrod straight? That's the bigger question here. And gotta watch that wall. You can see he was aware of that. He took a little bit more of an evasive, and that's going to cost him a little bit of time here, and that might cost him a potential attempted move coming into the chase. Just a little bit of extra steering movement there to ensure he didn't make the contact with the wall there, and that might have been enough to cost him an attempt at trying to get around Johnny B coming into the chase. So a little mistakes here. Definitely costing drivers a little bit, but this one's just costing a little bit of time. So another lap, get back on it, and try to see if he can reel that driver back in, do it all over again. So Johnny B doing a great job at just managing that gap and keeping the position ahead of Roblox here currently. Darmil, 2nd place. The gap is 7.5 seconds now between him and Rapid Duck. So Rapid Duck clearly setting the pace here very early on in this 90-minute event. We have Make It Rain in 17th place here in the McLaren, and it looks like we may have potentially already lost one car here in the race. I could be wrong. We have Rigo in 9th place, and I think he's the only Porsche driver here in the field tonight as well. So as he's coming around, having to save it there, having to hold on to it. That was very, very close right there from Rigo. That was a great job and a great save there as he comes around hill corner. And boy, oh boy, it sure gave him a little bit of a problem there. We see a nice little pack of cars coming through turn 1 here. A nice little cluster of cars here. So let's stick with this cluster of cars for a minute and see what happens. We got Amavai in 13th. We got Carsonic in behind in 14th. We've got Norse Vet up in 12th place battling with Fluka. Fluka going up the inside into Griffin's Bend there. And looks like he's going to get that position. So again, that's another good corner to get an overtake done as well. Now as we come into the cutting, you see all the drivers kind of filter back in single file here. And now the goal is not to lose pace on the driver in front of you. Stay nice and close as you come back down the mountain and try to get the move done on that big straightaway, the Conrod Straight. So here we go, great little battle here between these 5 cars, and love it when we see a nice little cluster of cars come around the corner like that. So you can see the Lamborghini driver, Butler Racing up ahead, managing a little bit of a gap right now on Fluka, but Fluka is definitely working hard at trying to close that gap up. And as we come down through the S's, MFI gets a great run there, really almost having to check up not to get into the back end of that Ferrari, and we got 3 cars really clustered up here as we come down the mountain. So the exit out of Forest Elbow is going to be crucial here for all of these drivers. And Ferrari, big contact right there as Vet just getting it a little bit under braking there, and he's going to take a hard hit into the wall there. He's still on track to got that Ferrari going, but going to lose 2 positions there to Amave and Carsonic. So tough hit there from Vet, but still on the track, is still putting in his paces, and he is right on the back end of Carsonic there. So nice little battle right there as we're coming down through the mountain here on Mount Panorama. We're only on lap 3 or 4. That doesn't make sense. All right, so we got Cletus here in the 17th place now, and we're definitely missing a driver. I'm not seeing our 18th place driver, so we've lost one of our drivers here this evening. We have Rapid Duck here sitting in 1st place. and just growing that gap right now in the rest of the field. So maybe this is a home track for Rapid Duck potentially, as he is definitely cruising. Just kicking it with the boys in the chat, tuning in to hear some King comms. Hey, we appreciate you, Payme. All right, Tango 2, 6th place here. He was up in, I believe it was 3rd place. Something happened, made a mistake, fell down to 8th place, and now back up into 6th place. So it's been an interesting little drive here so far for Tango 2 in that yellow, red, and blue BMW. And you can see some sparks flying as that BMW entered the dipper there. So definitely hard on these race cars as they come through there. You can see he's trying to catch up to the Bentley driver in front of Hi My Name Is, and the only Bentley on track. So 3.3 seconds is that gap currently. What else have we got happening here? We've got A-Cast up in the 4th place, 4.7 seconds down the road. You got about 3.1 seconds on the Bentley in behind. What else we got happening? We got Norse Vet and Carsonic here still battling. So Vet's gotten back around Carsonic for 11th place. Let's stick with this for a minute here. You can see the front end of that black Ferrari has definitely had a couple of conversations with the wall here, and Carsonic has given it everything he's got here right now. He's looking for a way around. He's in that slip. Let's see what he does here. He's going to go up into the outside essentially here. And if he can get this move done before the chase, he should be good and sound. But Ferrari's very close here as we're coming out. Ooh, you can see the bumps there really affecting the blue and yellow Ferrari there, and that almost compromises him as he comes into the chase, and he manages to save it, and Vet's going to get the position back, and now the Vet is going to move up into P11 there, and Carsonic is going to move back down into P12. Great save there by Carsonic as he got a little bit squirrely coming around the chase there, and Norse Vet was right there ready to jump on that opportunity. So I highly doubt that this battle is really done between these two drivers. But definitely a healthy battle here so far tonight between these two Ferrari drivers. I think I'm coming down with a cold, chat. Homies. Day was pretty good. Today. No complaints. Chilling. Getting ready for the ACC broadcast. It's always a lot of fun. You can see Carsonic as we move over to him now. Let's see if we can jump on board with Carsonic here for a minute now. Let's sit on board with him here as he chases Norse Vet back down as we're coming up in through Quarry Corner here into Reeds Park. And that takes us around a little corner, and then we got Solomon Park right here. You can see all the fans packed in right there. That's a great spot as we're on the top of the mountain. A little bit of a mistake made there by Norse Vet now as we're coming into Skyline. Ooh, and a little bit of a wiggle there by Carsonic. So the mountain's proving to be very difficult here today for these drivers. And you can see the bumps in the road. Ooh, a little tap of the wall right there for Vet. Very fortunate that didn't spin him a little sideways there. And let's see if Carsonic can get the run out of the corner here and get the pass done moving into the chase. Great tight line there for Carsonic, and that should be enough for him to get the job done here. He's got to time it right. He's got to be careful. Oh! Some tough driving right here from these drivers, and here we go. So I can't look to the left, unfortunately, or to lock the screen down, but as you can see on the center of the screen there in the radar, they're still side by side. You look up in the mirror, he's still got a nose in there, and oh boy, those bumps in the road again. 2 laps in a row. They're really proven to be an issue here for Carsonic, but he manages to get through the chase this time, and he's going to get the job done. He's going to keep the position on Norse Vet here for the time being, but whew. Some spicy moments there as these drivers coming up in through the chase, and healthy battle happening there. We've got a nice little battle between Butler Racing and Fluka here right now, and the camera guys are just throwing us right at all the action right now. We love that. Ooh, Amavai getting hell corner a little bit wrong there, but looks like got a pretty good run out of there. And then, of course, we got that great battle between Carsonic and Vet there in behind. So Fluka and Butler Racing now side by side. This is a battle for 8th and 9th place. Ooh, Lambert, the Ferrari's in the grass. That's not the great place to be. He's going to have some dirty tires. He's going to have to really hang in there to hold on to the corner. And Lamborghini's going to win out for the time being on that one. Fluka's got to settle back in. Now he's got to worry about Amave in behind in 10th place. So One little mistake, and it changes the whole perplexion of what you were just doing there. And you can see a great run coming up from the GTR here as he's coming up in through Corey's corner. Ooh, a little bit of a wiggle there from the GTR as well. And obviously, Amavai pushing there to try and see if he can get into the fight for position here. As we come into Skyline, Fluke is closing back in on the Lamborghini driver of Butler Racing here. Oh, and a little bit of wall contact there for Amavai, the GTR in behind. Got very fortunate not to get too bent out of shape there. But oh, and another hit there in the wall from Amavai. And boy, it is just getting from bad to worse for that GTR driver there right now. And damage is definitely going to phase that car here as he comes around. And oh, another little touch of the wall in behind there as well. So the Mountain definitely claiming its victims here tonight again. That GTR had a rough ride down the mountain here this time around. I believe it's on lap 8. So, yeehaw, let's keep going. All right, we've seen that battle. Who else we got going here? We got JDR in 13th. He's just chilling right now. We got a little bit of a tight line coming in there, but he makes it through. This has been a great battle. Let's see we'll sit on board with Butler Racing, taking a semi-defensive line here coming into Murray's corner. And as they come out, ooh, a little wiggle there from the Lamborghini under power. That might give Fluke a run. Fluke is looking for the line. Nope, he's going to be a defensive line here coming into Hell's corner. Let's see if Fluke can get a cutback here. Nope, just going to settle into line here at the moment, try and get a good run, maybe get the job done coming into Griffin's Bend. But I tell you, Butler Racing is more than well aware that Fluke is in behind him here. Yo, what is up, Cody B? Cody B in the house. How we doing, my guy? Alright, we're sticking with this battle. This is a great battle between these two drivers. They've been at it here for a couple laps now, and as we're coming into the cutting, we're side by side, but Fluke decides just to settle back into line here as we come up in through the cutting up into Corey's corner. A little wiggle there from Fluke and the Ferrari in behind that Lamborghini, and well, I mean, the two nicest looking paint jobs in the business here right now on this racetrack are definitely hard at it here for 7th and 8th place right now on the racetrack. So a good healthy battle. We're going to stick with this. Let's see what happens here now. We've seen Fluke has been pretty good at getting back up to the backside of this Lamborghini down through the downhill section of the mountain here. So as we head into the dipper, he is closing back in on that Lamborghini. And here we go. They both get it right. Fluke, it looks like he gets a little better traction there, but that Lamborghini is just zipping here right now as we come into Forest Elbow. Both of them get it right. Good exits. They maximize all that racetrack, but you can see him behind. Carsonic now in 9th place. He's lurking. He's just a little bit behind these two right now. So great exit here by the Lamborghini driver, and Fluke now finding himself trying to catch up in the slip. And both these drivers are actually catching up to 6th place driver Rigo up ahead here. Only 4.2 seconds now, so they gained about 0.5 of a second up that Conrad straight this time around on the Porsche driver up ahead of him as well. So maybe, just maybe, it might not be a good idea here to battle, but maybe do a little bit of work together here to see if they can catch up that driver. I'm doing wonderful. How you doing, my guy? How you doing, Cody? Got Butler, and he's aware. He is more than aware that Fluke is there. He's going to go semi-defensive there. Realizes Fluke is not close enough to try and make a move there. He's going to move into an optimal line, and he is going to continue up the road here. So I'm not sure why they were waving the blue flag there. So that's a position car up ahead. And then we got Carsonic and Cletus coming in behind here as well. So Cletus is slowly but surely making his way through the field and unlapping himself one car at a time. As we come into Griffin's Bend, you can see how close Fluke is again, and boy, this is a healthy battle here, but Rigo, that time is just dripping down. He is around every corner as these drivers come out of each corner now, so let's see if they can lock it in and get the job done. Lamborghini driver is in a tough spot. He knows he's gaining on the driver in front, but he also has to be more than aware of what that Ferrari is doing in behind right now. Doesn't want to give up the position, but they don't want to battle for it too much and cost themselves any unnecessary time here either. So again, let's see if Fluke closes up coming back down through the descent here in the mountain. The Lamborghini's done a great job at opening up a bigger gap here this time. Coming down in through the S's here. Let's see, as we're in the you can see the drivers really working here. It's a great shot here from the passenger side part of the car. You can see what this driver's dealing with here. camera guy was a little confused at what we were watching there. So great battle there, but nothing exactly happening here at the moment. We got Johnny B now in second place. He is chasing Rapid Duck, who's about 20.1 seconds ahead currently. So Johnny B got to make up a little bit of time on the track here if he wants a crack at that race win here today. But Rapid Duck very quickly making his paces around the racetrack here so far. That puts Acast in third place with Tango 2 in fourth, and Hi My Name Is What in fifth place with the Bentley. So what do we got? We got we got 3 BMWs in the top 5, a Bentley and an Audi currently here on the track, and we still have 65 and a little bit minutes left to go here in this race tonight. Darmel currently sitting in 10th place. He has been all over the grid here so far tonight. Make It Rain here up into 14th with the McLaren. Just kind of chilling right now, all on his own. He's got 12.6 seconds from our leader, who has gotten around this driver, and he's got about 3.9 seconds from our 15th place driver, the Big Toblerone, who is chasing for position, but comfortable little cushion here at the moment for Make It Rain. Comfortable enough to at least just make a small mistake and still not have to be immediately concerned for that position, but definitely still has to be aware that the driver is there in behind chasing. We got Rigo here in 6th place, and we see Fluka there in 7th, and Carsonic now in 8th. So, I'm not sure what's happened to our Lamborghini driver here, maybe making a pit stop, I'm not sure, but not on the track all of a sudden, or not in this equation here in this position on the racetrack anymore anyways. So Rigo was very quickly being caught up by Fluka and our Lamborghini driver, but now it's just Fluka and a Ferrari chasing here. So Hamavai's got that car all fixed up and ready to go around the racetrack here again. Cletus, much of the same thing. Rapid Duck just chilling. He is doing his thing right now. He is just cruising around the racetrack. We got Tango 2 here in 4th place. Butler Racing is in 10th place here, so I'm not sure if he took some damage or if he's on a pit stop situation there, but definitely dropping some positions there. We got Hi My Name Is in 5th place. He's got about 2.7 seconds from the BMW in front, and quite a bit of time on the next positional driver in behind. So really the focus is trying to catch up to that front pack. Norris Vet here in 11th place, getting it a little bit wrong there. He's just gonna there we go, get it back on track and get it moving forward here again. So a little bit of a rough ride around the cutting there as he as we all seen, getting a little friendly with the wall there. We got Carsonic now up into 8th place, so grabbing a position from the mistake or the pit stop made from our Lamborghini driver. Fluka reeling in Rigo. So Rigo, we've seen have a little contact with the wall last time we were on these two. Has definitely slowed that Porsche down a little bit on track here. So Fluka is just closing in a 10th by 10th here as we come through Skyline. So are we going to see a move set up here for the Conrad Straight now? And Rigo got a good run through there. Fluka losing a little bit of time on the back end of that Porsche here. Let's see if he can gain some of it back coming through the final part of the downhill run. You can see Carsonic just in behind, with Cletus just in behind him as well. So coming out of Forest Elbow, Fluka looking for a good run here. See if he can get it and get on the backside of that Porsche. You can see Rigo is aware, just trying to move a little erratically to try and break a little bit of slip there. But Fluka's not close enough really to make a move coming into the chase here. Close enough to take advantage of a mistake 100%, but he's just going to sit there nice and patiently, and he's just going to continue to close up on the Porsche driver in front here. So is he going to make a move coming into Murray's corner? Nope, he was just going to take a little look, see what that driver was going to do, see how that driver reacted. Now Making a mistake there was Rigo, getting a little bit wide. Fluke is going to get the job done as we come across the start-finish line here to start lap 14. So Fluke grabbing a position, moving himself back up into 6th place from Rigo. So a great job there by Fluke. JDR here in 13th, and again, just chilling right now. He doesn't have any immediate pressure. He's got the leader coming in on the back end here, but as far as immediate positional pressure goes, nothing brewing here at the moment. Butler Racing here in 10th place now. Where is he? Oh, making a little mistake coming through Skyline there. And just getting back on the track there before the walls, of course, coming into play. So, gonna have some dirty tires there. He's gonna have to just be a little careful there as he's coming down through the rest of this downhill sector. Doesn't want to over push the car at all. We got Johnny B in 2nd place, 23.3 seconds behind our race leaders. So, hasn't lost a lot of time from Rapid Duck, but little bit by little bit, he's definitely losing that time to the race leader here currently on the racetrack. ACAS is in 3rd place now with the BMW. We got Tango 2 in 4th place with the BMW. So now we're seeing 3 BMWs in that top 5. Alright, so Johnny B is coming up on some blue flag traffic. You can see ACAS just in the background. Tango 2 starting to reel him in. About 2.5 seconds is that gap between Tango 2 and ACAS right now as well. So Tango 2 maybe trying to look for a podium position. Lots of time left in the race. So we may see a series of pit stops from all the drivers yet. I doubt that any one of these drivers took a full fuel load on to start this race. I am assuming that they are going to at some point make a stop just for at least a splash of fuel. And there's 2 reasons for that. You start with a lighter race car at the beginning of the race. That of course gives you less tire wear on the tires, and then when you go in and take another smaller fuel load, again, it shouldn't be as stressful on the tires, so that should in turn allow you to run a little bit of faster laps but still maintain your tire integrity underneath of you. So we'll probably see lots of one tire stops. Probably see no tire changes in some of these drivers, and some of these drivers may opt to change tires based off how the race is going, I suppose, and how much damage they've done to them. But for the most part, I think the drivers up front that are just kind of been chilling and doing their thing, you'll probably see them not change their tires here tonight. Johnny B in 2nd place, he's just doing his thing, slowly but surely reeling in that McLaren driver up there ahead of him in 13th. Darmel is in 9th now. As he comes around, we haven't seen any race control penalties handed out yet here tonight, so far so good on that front as far as the driver goes, but it is very young in this race yet. Make It Rain here in 13th place, and it does have, I believe that's Johnny B in behind, trying to put him another car down here. So Make It Rain definitely looking like has some pace here, as it is a 207 last time around. Johnny B was a 205, so about 2 seconds faster a lap is Johnny B, so it's about 1 or 2 more laps before we see something happen there. Oh boy, Rigo. Not Rigo. Carsonic getting it wrong in behind Rigo here and making a mistake, and a little bit of lag here I can see in the lobby. Some of these cars are a little sideways even though they're not sideways. So a little bit of lag in the lobby here. We've got the big Tolberon here in 14th, and he started so well here in the race early on, so not sure what's happened here to Tolberon, but currently sitting in 14th position. We see Norris Vet just coming out of pit lane in behind as he comes through turn 1 there. Amave, who started in, I believe, 9th place, I think it was, now down into 11th. So Amave's been as far as the podium and down into the 11th, 12th positions here so far on the racetrack today. So a little bit of up and down racing coming from our GTR driver here so far. Cletus, I'm not sure what happened to Cletus early on in the race. I think he ended up starting from pit lane and just hasn't really been able to make any ground up. There may have been an incident maybe in there. I'm not sure what's happened to Cletus. He's a relatively quick driver, so must have missed something there early on in the race with Cletus. But currently sitting in, I apologize, I'm just wiping my nose, 14th position. So Not sure what happened to Cletus, so Rapid Duck, and let's jump on board with Rapid Duck here. As he takes us around Mount Panorama at about the 56-minute remaining mark here. And this is up the mountain straight, so after turn 1 here, we're just heading up this almost 0.7 mile straight run here at Mount Panorama. And at about the 100-meter board, we're on the brakes down into 3rd gear just to get around Griffin's Bend here. Be back up into 4th gear for a little bit of stability coming into the cutting, and then right back down into 3rd gear, maybe into 2nd for rotation here. Easy on the throttle, of course, a little bit of a hill there. And then you're just nursing this thing around the mountain. You don't want to overdrive it through the mountain here. Just nice, tight, easy, smooth lines. Coming up into Reed Park here. Solomon Park right here as we come around the corner. Got to watch that wall. You can see lots of marks there from cars scraping it. That takes us down into Skyline here and heading us right back down the mountain. So down in through the downhill S's here. And the dipper coming right here, this left-hander, a big elevation change right there, and you can just see it's just straight downhill, straight downhill, straight downhill, curving, twisting, spinning, and bang, 180-degree corner, forest elbow, and then a little bit of breath of fresh air. You get to open the car up, and you get a little bit of a straight run here now as you're heading back towards the start-finish line. Apologize for the sniffles and biffles, ladies and gentlemen. Apparently, we're just not jiving today. Allergies, maybe? I'm not really sure. Alright, so there is a lap around Mount Panorama with our current race leader, Rapid Duck, in that green BMW here on the racetrack. Tango 2 in pit lane. Acast here in 3rd place as he's just coming up through the chase here, so not sure what happened to Tango 2 there. We see a car off Make It Rain there in the chase as, of course, Acast comes through. So the field spreading out a little bit here at about the 3rd waypoint through the race. And it's going to be interesting to see what the pit strategies do for these drivers. We got various lap times coming from all the drivers here. Johnny B still up into 2nd. Hi, my name is What is now up into 4th place here with the Bentleys. So slowly but surely, just picking away, lap at a time, one lap at a time. Norris Vet is getting green flag waved, even though he's just chilling there. Oh, he's going to bring it into pit lane for a service. We got Carsonic here in 11th place. We've got Fluka here in, there he is, 5th place. And not a lot brewing right now on the racetrack. GDR here in 12th. We've got Butler Racing in 9th. Got Amave just up ahead here. I think this is probably the closest thing we have to a battle right now on the racetrack. So we'll stick with this here for a minute or two. Yeah, just jump into the chat, Choco. Anytime you want, my dude. All right. Oh, did we lose something here? What did we miss? Amave just grabbed a good gap. Here's all we're missing. So, all right. Sorry, chat. We get distracted sometimes. You know, we get those messages coming in from the racetrack and race control, and you know, all that great stuff that happens in behind the scenes here. But a little bit of separation now from Amave and Butler Racing there, GTR and Team Lamborghini. So, what do we got going on here? We got Johnny B and Acast just in behind each other here. About 5 seconds separate those two. And then they got a couple of blue flag cars up in front of them, but it looks like those blue flag cars have been pacing pretty decently. So, yeah, interesting. All right, everybody just chilling. It's a rendering screen too. I do apologize, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not sure what that's about. Again, just something to do with the game. It might be the ray tracing on my TV that's just stalling the graphics. I'm not sure. Got Johnny B. We got Darmel in P6 here. And not a lot really immediately happening here on the racetrack. Rigo here in 10th place. That's the leader just up ahead of him there. So the leader now has lapped about half the field here, give or take. The big Tolbarone here in 15th, Amavai in 8th, and Butler Racing very quickly losing pace off the the GTR driver, pardon me, here in 8th place. We got Cletus here in 14th. Interesting, Cody. Interesting. Alright, so Rapid Duck here coming around turn 1 and just ahead of Rigo there in 10th place. So, yeah, the drivers are definitely scattered all over the racetrack here right now. The next driver in front of them is Darmel, who's in 6th place, and he's about 6.6 seconds up the road here. So, Tango 2 here in 7th place. We got a driver coming into pit lane. Yeah, we have ACAS coming into pit lane here. So we have a couple drivers coming to pit lane. So this is probably about the time that we're going to see these drivers take that other half of their fuel load here about the halfway point of the race. So I guess not too surprising to see that. And we're just getting sorted out in our pit stalls there. Great job by the drivers there. So that puts Hi My Name Is What up into 2nd place here now, and he is just tucked in behind Tango 2, who's in 7th place. So you can kind of tell who the drivers that haven't been in trouble and haven't had to make pit lane here yet compared to the rest of the drivers who have had to go visit pit lane at least one time here tonight. So again, the drivers quite spread out here tonight, and you can see contact there potentially between Hi My Name Is and Tango 2. I'm not sure what happened there, but they were side by side. Must have touched a little bit there, and both drivers, both drivers paying a little bit of a price there, it looks like. So, yeah, not sure what happened there, but is what it is. Got Norris Vet here still sitting in pit lane. He may have put that car away for the day. We've got Carsonic here in P11. Fluka here in 3rd place, and I believe that's Johnny B he's battling with there for 4th place currently right now. Where's Johnny B at? We've lost to Johnny B. He must have made a mistake coming into Griffin's Bend there, because he just all of a sudden disappeared out of that equation. We got Butler Racing here in 9th place. There he is. There's Johnny B. And he's under pressure from Cletus here at the moment. So Johnny B was battling side by side with Fluka there for 3rd and 4th place. And then something happened, and now he's 6.8 seconds behind Fluka. And now he's got Cletus in 13th place trying to get that position back from Johnny B and get one more car back up on his lap down here. So here we go. Cletus is all over the back end of Johnny B right now. This is a little bit of an interesting situation here for sure. If there's pace, I mean, if the driver's got pace on these lead lap cars, and of course they can go by them, but I mean, it's always a risk versus reward thing. So Johnny B 6.9 seconds now in behind Fluka, so I'm not sure what happened to Johnny B there, but maybe in a little bit of car trouble there. Darmel in 6th place. We've got Make It Rain in 12th. We've got Rigo in 10th. We've got Tolbarone in 15th, and well, he started off really well. Having a little bit of a struggle here right now is Tolbarone though. Oh, little nick of the wall. You can see that throwing him off line for the skylight. Ooh, very close to throwing him outside the track there. But he does a good job of keeping it together. And as he comes down in through the dipper. Pardon me. He has Carsonic make a mistake there, and now they're a little closed up here. So let's see if we see a move from the big Toblerone on Carsonic here. Ooh, big hit into the wall there from the big Toblerone, and boy, the drivers are really struggling with the dirty air here at Mount Panorama today. Amavai in 8th place, Cletus here in 13th. Rapid Duck now coming into pit lane. He's got a pretty sizable lead here, so I don't think he's too concerned here right now. He has just had a very comfortable race here so far at Mount Panorama today, with 46 minutes remaining on that clock. Acast here in 5th. I do apologize, ladies and gentlemen. I am absolutely just getting plugged up here. It is getting very difficult. Right, Acast here in 5th place. I don't know what's going on. I don't ever get sick, so yeah, I'm not sure. It could be allergies. We got Hi, My Name Is here in 4th place. Norris Vet. I think Norris Vet has just called it a day here. That Ferrari's taking a little bit of a beating here on the track today, so I think he's just putting it away halfway into the race. Is the call there from race control as well. So now Fluke is up into 2nd place here. So round of pit stops happening. Fluke is now, of course, moving up into 2nd place. 30 seconds to the race leader here right now. Rapid Duck, and that is after a pit stop. JDR here in 15th. We've got Butler Racing here in 9th place. What else we got? Johnny B in 3rd place. So yeah, the mountain has definitely been winning here tonight. We have our drivers absolutely just spread all over the field here today. I can. Yeah, I can hear you. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so we do have a little bit of a special guest popping into the box here with us at the moment, and well, this gentleman's no stranger to the commentary box, that's for sure. We got the Infinite Racing League, one of our administrators here, IRL Choco here with us, and of course he was a driver we seen on the card a little bit earlier in the broadcast, so welcome into the box, and why don't you tell the viewers a little bit about the league and a little bit about what you're doing here.
Ghost, man. Thank you. Hey, as always, man, we appreciate you broadcasting for us, man. It's always a great broadcast. The drivers greatly appreciate it, man. We look forward to this. So again, we want to give you a big shout out for bringing another amazing broadcast for our viewers and our drivers post race for them. But yeah, man, we started the league about 3 years ago, I believe. So we were a very small league. We're still small. We're steady growing. We're a little over 300 drivers now, but we're looking at doing big things for the league. We just started. We just actually started our competition team, our endurance competition team. So those guys will be competing on endurance races on other leagues. So we have right now we have a total of 10 drivers, I believe it is, eight active, 2 reserves. For the competition team. So those guys race about two times a month. They just got done racing the AOR endurance race I think it was a couple weeks ago. We had a pretty good outing that one. That was really our debut for the team. We had Team BMW out there. We had, I think it was Porsche and Audi. So we didn't do bad. I mean, we placed I'm not sure what it was, but I think the worst we did was 17, but I think that was due to a glitch on pit on this driver swap. But nonetheless, we have that coming up, and I think they have another race coming up here within a couple weeks here. But we also looks like Amavi there lost control a little bit of the Nissan going down the mountain. But yeah, the competition team just finished that one there, and we also we'll be kicking off here the EU series here next. I mean, this coming up Saturday. So that's our grand opening day. Our opening day is going to be this Saturday. So we have those two things going on. Shoot, what else? Um, wow, not nothing I can think of right now. I guess when I think of it, I'll definitely let you know while we're broadcasting here.
Absolutely, and again, great information coming from the Infinite Racing League. So, I mean, we have a couple weeks left after obviously this absolutely brutal 90-minute endurance race at Mount Panorama. And MFI almost getting it wrong coming out of the chase there again as well. He is going to head into pit lane. Obviously, a little bit of damage on that race car currently. So, let's talk about last week's race. I know we're here at Mount Panorama right now. The drivers are, battling the mountain here. But let's talk about last week's round in Zolder. An 80-minute rain race, and it was just an absolutely chaotic race.
Yeah.
I gotta tell you, though, the feedback from the overall community here from GT45 Gaming side, the drivers absolutely really enjoyed that race. So I'm sure the drivers might think a little differently that we're obviously on track and putting on the show for the fans. It was a tough racing, but can we expect to see a lot more variable weather racing like that from IRL in the future?
Yes, actually, we have good question. We actually have the EU series. We'll be doing our Saturday series, which is the EU series. They'll be doing a real weather season this year. So whatever weather it is currently in that racetrack for that time of day is what the server will be set by the race coordinators. So I mean, that's quite challenging for the drivers because one, you have to implement different setups. You don't know what you're gonna get. In other words, first thing you got to do is pay attention to the weather for that week for our drivers. The very serious drivers or the ones that take the hobby to the level we take it. And even for those guys who have fun, sometimes they also look at the weather, but you got to keep an eye on the weather, see what's going on. Then you have to practice for whatever. Have different setups in place for whatever, and the weather may change the race day. I mean, that way you're ready. But yeah, real weather will be implemented in the EU season this year. So we've done it before, and it was actually quite fun. The thing was, the EU, man, it rains a lot. It was raining a lot that season, so the guys were pretty much fed up with the rain. They soldiered through though. They finished the whole season, but yeah, it was quite a wet season that year in the EU using the real weather. I can't remember what time of season it was. Which caused a lot of rain. The EU guys will know better what time of the season that is, but hopefully that's not the case starting Saturday. I haven't looked at the weather yet, but yeah, that's going to be the challenging part this year of the EU series.
Absolutely, and if I'm not mistaken, if I remember correctly, did I see that we had an Australian driver in the race here tonight?
Man, we got the Butler Racing man. Welcome home, Daddy. So yeah, Butler Racing, car 450 on the Lamborghini. He's one of our Aussie friend. Him and MX definitely are quite good friends. They be going at it. But also one thing I forgot to mention, but I'll get to that first. Butler man, awesome to have him back. He's been going for a little bit here, but yeah, we have the Aussie. He knows the mountain. He actually stayed in the briefing. You got to be careful with this bad monster here with this mountain. So he knows the mountain very well. Pretty quick driver, and look forward to seeing Butler on the grid this year.
Absolutely. Right now, sitting currently 8th here on the home track here right now in that Lamborghini. He's had some pretty good battles here on the racetrack. He's had a little bit of attrition here on the racetrack so far tonight too, but definitely showing he knows the mountain well. But Rapid Duck, our current race leader, he's got about a 40-second gap on the next positional driver. That man has absolutely been tearing Mount Panorama apart. What can you tell us about Rapid Duck?
Yeah, man, Rapid Duck is exactly what the name states. Rapid, he's very rapid, man, and Duck, he cracks all the way to the finish line. Actually speaking, we just got done doing our first, that's another thing I forgot to mention. I'm sorry, now it's coming back to me. Rapid Duck and I, we actually just got done doing a swap race This past when did we do that swap race? This past week, a couple days ago. Very successful, very fun. But I can tell you, man, this guy's a great coach, great, consistent driver. I mean, he pretty much goes. He's pretty much won competition, has championships in our league and other various leagues. So this guy right here, man, not only is he a great coach, great teammate, but he is also what his name says, man. Rapid duck. He's very consistent, minimal mistake guy. This is the guy when he's on the grid, man. He's he's the one everybody's gonna be aiming for, man. Because I mean, but he made one thing about Duck, man. One thing is when he's coaching you at your level. But he's making you have progress at the same time. Just and the simple details is what you forget about when you're on there. And I'm not a fast driver, like I said. I'm still actually. I only been sim racing for like 2 years now. Little maybe over a little 2 years now. Uh, but he's definitely improved my time on that Silverstone swap race. And Silverstone's one of those track. Well, first it was his favorite track. But it's one of those tracks. It's a flow track, and you gotta get that last. I'm still learning my tracks like you, Ghost. But that last, not last turn, but the second to last turn. Well, you gotta get that chicane right in that turn. But it's he just teaches you a way where it's at your level, but it's productive where you're actually gonna gain your tenths of a second on it. And he's patient with you as well. So great teammate, man. All I can say is when he's on the grid, that's the results you're gonna see consistently. And if you gotta come, that's your competition right there on the grid line.
Well, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. You want to know who the man to beat in ACC is? Rapid Duck is one of those fast drivers to beat. So, really appreciate you coming in. It was a great idea, actually, to come in. And obviously,
Absolutely, man. This
Choco
is
has
awesome.
a much more insight in on the drivers on track and what's going on here within the league than, of course, I do, because, well, this is his baby. So, I mean, what else can you tell us? I mean, we got lots of drivers on the track here. Obviously, clearly, a lot of the drivers scare the mountain here. We have, between 30 to 40 drivers here throughout the series right now in the GT3 Sunday Cup, and only 18 making it tonight. So, is it just the nature of this racetrack?
Yeah. It's the mountain. Two things that are deterred is wet weather conditions and the mountain. And if you combine them both into this thing, you definitely gonna get a low number just because of the conditions and the mountain, of course. But that also applies to other tracks as well. Uh, I like the rain at Zolder. I don't mind it at all. I don't mind the rain at Silverstone. It's just you just gotta adjust your driving technique, driving style. You just can't force the car. I mean, I usually drive the car like I'm driving my car, in the rain. So I mean, use your resources that the car has for you. But at the same time, it's just a different style, different technique. Real quick, that's all. And it's a matter of, but it helps you get better. You get ready for anything. I mean, like I said, we're going to be running real weather. So if we only have one drop round in the season, I believe. But if it rains 4 out of the 8, you're gonna skip 4. I mean, you're pretty much out the season at that point. But you also just have to. I mean, the real life drivers, they don't pull out on the rain. So uh, we would like more drivers to stay on the rain, and doesn't matter the weather conditions. But again, this is a hobby. People, I mean, drivers will choose what they want to participate in. So we don't hold that against anyone at all. We still implement the schedules. We still implement, the formats, and we just hope the drivers just come on, sign up, and just. It's a learning experience for you at the same time. Just like I throw down Thursdays. What we have is every Thursday we run. We have a one-on-one, almost like a street outlaw style um, throwdowns where we we have our own channel for that on Discord where the drivers they shit talk each other's up. For motivation, we keep it. We don't cross a certain line, but shit talking is encouraged. Everybody respects each other, and if you want to call it respectable shit talking, it is what it is. I do apologize for the language. I know this is a family-friendly channel here, so we do, encourage a lot of motivational talk. I should switch the terminology. In the adult way, but it also helps the drivers be ready for anything. So, for example, I'm on the ninth spot on the list. That's a bad place to be because what we do is we have two lists. Again, we run a street outlaw style. 1 through 10 is already on the charts. We have our first place guy, I believe is Johnny, but then we have our list B, which is the entry list to chase the A list. And spot 9 is not an ideal place to be because you're surrounded by aliens. Those guys are chasing now, so the aliens have been released and now they're moving up the list. But being in my position on that, but the whole bottom line of that is camaraderie within the league, but also a good experience to go up against faster guys, learn what it takes. It's just a great learning experience. And the problem is you just don't know where you're gonna drive because the community votes on the cars, on the tracks, and then our bot picks the track based on the results of the poll. So if you have a GT3 car, the bot will choose what GT3 car the drivers will drive. And if it's a Europe track chosen by the community, the bot will decide what Europe track you have. And that's decided 10 minutes before the drivers actually compete and go one-on-one. So the drivers don't have any time to practice. They don't have any time for setups. They don't know what track they're gonna get. All they know is they're on Thursday. The call out is already done. It's already it's scheduled, and you have to show up for the call out. I mean, yeah, you don't have to show out. It's not mandatory. If you pull out, you pull out. But the guys want to get the list moving. It's a motivational thing. They enjoy it. And then if you win, you move up. You take that spot. If the guy that's got called out, he holds. It's either take it or defend it or lose it. But it's fun. It helps the guys get ready for any weather. You just don't know what you're gonna get. That's the thing. You don't know what car you're gonna drive. It may be a GT4, GTX, GT3. Maybe the car you don't like. I had the Maserati at one point. Me and Cletus, I believe it was. Maserati, no TC at Zandvoort. So that was a pretty tricky track in the Maserati. So that was quite challenging. No, I'm sorry, that was the Ferrari challenge. I think I went with someone else in the Maserati in Zandvoort, so no TC on that car, so it was kind of different driving from 1 week to the next one on the one-on-one. So it helps our drivers get better, helps them learn different details of the cars, it helps them drive different cars, get under the seat of different cars and different tracks, so you just don't know what you're going to get. So there's different things we try to implement in the league to help the drivers get better without feeling like I'm not gonna make any improvement here. So we try to get the community feedback so we can find out what works best for the league and for the drivers. We want if I could get a grid of everyone running 1 minute, 1 second from each other, that'd be great. So we want to give everyone quality grids instead of quantity. So we rather have a quality grid. So it minimizes a lot of stuff. So I mean, people put in time and effort to practice during the week. They don't want their race destroyed in within the first 2 turns of the race. So we try to implement different things to help the drivers get better. Safety briefings, stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, you still have room for improvement, but again, the community feedback is very, very, very crucial to provide that.
Absolutely, and I guess the bigger question is if people are interested in getting involved on console ACC on PS5. I mean, how are the ways that they can find IRL?
Definitely, we're on SimGrid. You can find us on SimGrid. We have our website also. Rayman is our web developer. He's currently running currently 11th, number 76 car. So he's our web developer. Make it rain. I believe IRL simracingleague.com. But our Discord is on SimGrid. SimGrid is gonna be where you get all our resources there. So SimGrid. We also have we're probably gonna be creating also an endurance driver swap series, since the first one went well, our trial season went well. our trial race went well. So we'll be implementing that as well. So there'll be an endurance season coming up with the driver swap. So that'll be a team event, and more info on that to be we'll give more information on that on our Discord. So you must join our Discord to get updated on anything, any events that we put together. But our main place will be the sim grid, and within that sim grid, we'll lead you guys to our Discord, and then from there we have so many different resources on our Discord.
Absolutely, and of course I'm a part of the Discord, and it's an extensive Discord server here at the Infinite Racing League for sure. But every tool that the drivers need here in order to get dialed in on the game, to learn how to play the game. Of course, the drivers there to help as well, help you learn and develop with the game as well. ACC is much of a different game from, say, a Gran Turismo. A lot more physics-based racing here. The cars, well, respond exactly like you would actually expect a real race car to respond. So it's a little bit of a learning curve involved, and of course, a little bit of tweaking of the equipment settings, of course, as well, depending on what it is that you use for equipment. So I guess, controller driving on ACC is always rumored to be impossible. Now, we know it's not impossible. We do and have seen drivers here on the broadcast in the past that run on controller. Now with that new haptic feedback controller on the PlayStation 5, is that a little more something you're seeing in the ACC here?
Yeah, I mean, we Darnell was I believe was our last controller driver. He now got on the wheel, and he's actually gotten a lot faster, a lot better on the wheel. I mean, we don't care if you use the controller. The feedback it's not nowhere near the same as having the wheel. And again, the better quality wheel you have, the better, of course. But you definitely won't get the same feedback like you will on the wheel. So we don't care if you use it at all. You just won't get the same experience as you will with the wheel. But yeah, I know they had a current update on the controller recently. I don't believe it changes anything as far as the feel of the car on the controller. You don't have any feedback at all on the controller. But I have seen where guys switch from controller to wheel and just instant improvement.
Absolutely, and again, and that's just again due to the physics engine here, obviously in the game. But it isn't impossible, ladies and gentlemen. It is definitely doable. Like I said, we have seen it in the past. So even if you're just entry level and you want to get started in on the platform, it can be done on controller for sure. So, and then of course, if you decide you like it and it's something that you'd like to get involved in more seriously, then then usually that's the time that you consider making maybe a wheel upgrade for a small investment. It doesn't need to be anything fancy. An entry level wheel like a G29 does the trick just fine.
Absolutely, yes it does. Yes sir. Yes sir. I'm actually running the I need to upgrade. I'm BSing around, but I actually downgraded because my G29 messed up, so I'm running the T150. Leave me alone. But I will. It does the job for me. So I will definitely we'll be upgrading here by the end of the year. So. But yeah, it does the job, man. And listen, I'm on the grid. That's all that matters to me. I'm on the grid with my T150 and my pedals. Leave me alone, cause I'm running. And it's not really. It's the driver, man. It's. I could have a G29 T150 and a Fanatec driver. So it all comes down to the driver and the car. But mainly the driver, man. It's not the equipment, it's the driver. I mean, the equipment probably does have something to play with, but it all comes down to the driver, man. At the end of the day, and how many mistakes, how consistent they are, and it's just you just got to put it all together, man. And then the hardware is meaningless when it comes to the skill set of the driver. But yeah, it's awesome.
Absolutely, and it's been the mountain has been difficult for our drivers here tonight. The field very, very separated here now. Rapid Duck, I mean, he's going to need a pretty big thing to happen here, I think, at this point, to lose this race at this point. So, do we expect to maybe see a battle for that podium? We see about 4.2 seconds separating Acast and Hi My Name Is What. So, The mountain has definitely made the drivers pay the price here tonight.
Yeah, I mean, she always wins. I mean, we saw in the beginning there. I mean, everything was nice and tight, and then the mountain just decided just to go ahead and spread everybody out. And she always wins, man. If you survive the whole race, man, then you have some sort of small victory there. But yeah, she dictates what happens. But again, at the end of the day, this mountain is all about skill set. Especially if you know the track is going to be a lot better for you. But again, it's always going to be reacting to the drivers or cars in front of you that are not either A is experienced or B not the pace due to the track being so spread out, especially coming up the mountain there. But yeah, she always wins, man. And did I expect this? Yes, I expected it to be spread out. I expected the grid to be this size. Yes. Do I know who's gonna win though? But yeah, she started off nice and tight, and then it's just spread out, and you can still see some drivers are still pushing hard. And I mean, you got 21 minutes left, so these guys are now pushing for points here as we're midway through the season, I believe. But yeah, the only thing I can see happening here, I mean, there's my name is, he's in third right now with I see. Your cast is fourth. Somebody's coming out the pit that looks like Darnell. Yeah, but the only thing that and Duck is not the type of driver that makes a lot of mistakes, but neither is Johnny. But yeah, only something really bad has to happen for this for Duck to not take that. But looks like, I mean, there's only 20 minutes left. By the 10-minute mark, we should know the podium.
Well, we definitely have ACAS and Hi My Name Is. I mean, they're only 3.5 seconds separated here right now between the two of them.
That's the closest.
I'm thinking that's probably the closest battle we're going to see here before the end of the race here today. But, credit to all 18 drivers stepping out on the track here today to tackle this beast. It is gnarly, this racetrack, but a lot of fun, this racetrack. So 18 drivers are just gaining seat time, more track experience, and more time on the equipment. And of course, practice makes perfect when you're sim racing. So, and no matter how much you practice, you'll never be perfect. So there's always room for practice.
Yeah, man, hey, Ghost, man, definitely listen. I want to give you a big shout out, man, brother. We appreciate what you're doing for our league here with the broadcast. The drivers look forward to it every freaking Sunday. They ask about it on Discord, man. So we definitely look forward to this. We can't thank you enough for shouting, doing this for our league, and we greatly appreciate you, man. And we look forward to definitely broadcasting with you in the future here, and providing some great streaming here for our viewers. And maybe I could jump in the booth with you. Well, we'll see. We'll see what it brings. But again, we want to give you a big shout out, brother, because without you, these live broadcasts are not going to be possible unless I get in the mic. But as you know, you're way much better than me on this. And again, for all our viewers, GT45 Gaming has a lot of stuff going on. Ghost, let us know what you got going on right now. It's about you, baby.
We just business as usual here in the commentary box. We spend a lot of time on airplanes moving all over the world every week to get all these crazy races in. But we're definitely looking forward to bringing more ACC content with IRL here in the future as well. Obviously, it's not going to end with the America GT3 Challenge when the season is over. There'll be something to come right back up after that as well. So that, of course, we leave to the amazing organizers here at the IRL, the Infinite Racing League, ladies and gentlemen, to get all that great stuff set up, and then we just get involved and do what we do here. But, at the end of the day, it really does come down to the team behind the scenes. We can't have these great leagues and these great events without the administration staff or stewarding staff, all the volunteers behind the scenes, whether it be social posting or web designing or having great partners like Coach Dave Academy and SimGrid involved.
Absolutely.
We can't do it without all those great people, and obviously the volunteers, the heart and soul of any kind of racing, whether it be real life or sim racing. I mean, they get the extra shout out every week from me because they are the heart and soul of what we do. So, it takes a team to really make it all work. So, the big thank you really goes out to everybody involved behind the scenes, and of course the drivers on track. We don't have anything to show the fans if we don't have drivers risking their race cars every week either. So.
Yeah, man. So definitely big shout out to those drivers out there, man. Put in work in practice every week, week in and week out, just to get ready for the next event. So we at RL, first I want to give a big shout out to my admin team. that our race coordinators, our mod team, our competition team, all our admin teams that help operate this league, man. I want to give you guys a big shout out, man. None of this is possible without you guys. But like you said, Ghost, most importantly, we want to thank the community because we do this for the community. Again, this is all a volunteer basis, but we enjoy what we provide for the community as well. I'm pretty sure as well as your team.
Absolutely.
So we enjoy this stuff, man. We love putting this team, and like I said, without my team, none of this is going to be possible. So literally, like, I really want to thank all our viewers, all our drivers for literally not only racing but showing up and committing to the races week in and week out, man. And these guys compete, man. And like I said, we try to provide as best a quality grid as possible. We prefer quality over quantity. And just like we want to make sure that we have quality broadcast as well, so that's why we chose, and we were excited when you came on board. So that fits just in line with our grid, quality broadcasting. It was just a no-brainer for us. So again, we want to give you a shout out, give our admin teams a shout out, most importantly our drivers and our viewers as well. So this is all great.
Absolutely, we got a great battle happening here right now for 9th and 10th place between Make It
Let's take a
Rain
look.
and
Let's
Carsonic
take a
here.
look.
So about a 1
there's
second
also
gap between these two
It's
cars.
starting to get juicy too here between your cast and Hi My Name Is. The gap has closed there a little bit there, and your cast is definitely on his rear there.
So maybe a little
Coming.
mistake coming from Hi My Name Is in the
Yeah.
Bentley there recently.
And Ghost, we have 15 minutes left, so these guys are gonna be pushing here to the end, and it's just gonna come down to one mistake, which is right now where your cast is hoping My Name Is makes a mistake. And again, your cast is gonna capitalize. Your cast is one of our long-term drivers here, so right now he's gonna get that slipstream right off. Right off My Name Is, and he's probably going to take the inside there, but My Name Is, it looks like he's going to defend that on the inside, and your Cash is going to slip on the outside. But again, great defense there on My Name Is, and this is going to be juicy here. We're going to see here in the next 15 minutes, go see what's going to happen here. And again, your Cash is going to push him to the end. It's going to see how My Name Is has 15 minutes to defend the heck out of this P3, because again, this is podium. One of these two guys is going to interview with you tonight, man. So we'll see, can he hold off for the next 15, or is your cast? I mean, your cast, he's licking his chops right now, and he's closing in real tight right now. So, what do you think? What do you see here, man? What do you think is?
Well, I mean,
straight line here. So.
In this position with the nature of this racetrack, I think Yakas is in the best spot because he's just the one applying the pressure here. He doesn't need to make a move right now. There's still lots of time on the clock yet. He's got lots of time to be patient here. He is going to go up the inside heading into Griffin Bend here, though, so let's see if they hold it together here.
Oh, it looks like the Bentley's going to lose traction on the rear there, and I don't think it hurt the gap time there a little bit, but now the situation has been reversed here. Now the question is, can My Name Is keep up here, or it looks like the car's slipping in the rear end there, but how is he going to respond now to this take here from Yakas? So does Yakas pull away? What does he do here? That we're about to find out here in the next 14 minutes. So looks like he's trying to gain that back from him, but Yakas looks like he's going to try to pull away from this thing.
Yeah, P3, thank you very much. Appreciate that. And I am going to try and get up down the road here now, but the Bentley driver's been very strong here all night long, so just been putting in the paces, really had his head down all day long, so don't count this Bentley out of here yet. It is a decent car on this racetrack, mainly because it's just got that big top-end power for the Conrod straight, so if we're going to see a gain here, it might be right here against this BMW on this big straightaway, but the BMW is no slouch here either. So when it comes to ACC PS5, I mean, right now, obviously, we know we've got some of that PC update here now in the ACC.
Oh, Ghost, if you go to Make It Rain, not intended, for a good battle there. Looks like
let's see if we
Rain,
can get to it here.
Yes, sir. They're going up the mountain now, so it looks like Make It Rain and Carsonic are side by side going up the mountain here. This is brutal. This is gonna be yeah. Hold on, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, this is points. This is still points. We have under 13 minutes here soon, and these guys look like they're arguing right now. We're gonna see who has the best of the argument here. The question is, what sudden moves do we make? Do we take a risk here? I would not recommend it, but we'll see how he responds.
Oh, we've seen some pretty big, bold moves in the past through Skyline here. I don't think tonight's going to be a night we're going to see a move quite like that, but Ideally, the smart decision here is try to get close up on Make It Rain up there in 9th place and get that run through Forest Elbow and try to get into that slipstream on the Conrod Straight. That is ultimately the best thing that Carsonic can do here at this point, or again hope for a mistake from that driver up in front. But with only 12 minutes remaining in the race, hoping that driver makes a mistake, you really got to start relying on your skill and ability behind the race car you're driving and just and make something happen. So 12 minutes and about 1.2 seconds right now, so we'll see if he can close it up. And they are starting to come in on Fluka in 5th place here too as well, so again, a little bit of mixed traffic coming into play here potentially as well.
Yeah, looks like Fluke is gonna be in between him and Regal C24, who's currently in 8th, which is now Make It Rain is chasing, but again Fluke is stands in the way between him and Regal C24. Now Regal's running a 209.7. Meanwhile, Make It Rain is running average of his last one was 208. So now he's still running a 208.3. So he's actually got a little pace on Regal. The question is now Tango coming out the pit stop there. So now he has 2 cars now in the way between him and Regal C24, who's in 8th right now. So the gap is closing. Being that he has pace on him, but again 2 cars now standing in the way, so now he has to get past those 2 cars. And again, you don't take those risks going up or down the mountain there. It's going to be the next straightaway is going to be probably the only opportunity that Make It Rain hopefully catching some of that slipstream from Fluka, and maybe gaining a position or 2 there before the straightaway ends there.
And Fluka must have made some form of mistake up just ahead of these guys, because they really closed up a pretty quick gap there. So Fluka now back up to speed here, but maybe a little bit of damage on that Ferrari up in front of these guys as well.
Yeah, definitely. Let me go to Fluka and see if I can see any kind of damage here. Fluka, where is he at here? That's one thing, man. I hope on the next update, the spectator
we get a little more love.
Yes, a lot more love, man. Make it a lot easier. Now the crazy part is when I did the broadcast a couple months ago, it was fine. It was perfect the way I liked it, the way it should have been. And then after the last update, it's just hooked everything back up. So I'm hoping that at the next 1.9, which the PC already got, that they'll throw the love for you guys, our spectators. So make it a lot easier to navigate through this thing during the broadcast. But yeah, looks like Fluke. I'm on Fluke right now. He's definitely moving there. But he's right behind Tango. I don't see any damage on Fluke, at least not in the rear, in the front of the car. But definitely getting closer to Tango there. But now there is, let me see, he's coming in on Rigo too. But I mean, he's currently in 5th, so he's probably gonna be sitting here comfortably. And then we're at the 10-minute mark. I don't think Luca would have any reason to push the car to any limits here, being that 4th place is pretty much out of grabs at this point. The question is, what's Make It Rain gonna do the next 9 minutes between him and Rigo?
I was just thinking the same thing as we were just kind of watching Rigo there, and I mean, it was 9 seconds, and then it was 7, now it's 5. Right. Very, very quickly, Making It Rain is closing that gap up on that positional battle. But again, like we said, he has a couple of drivers in between him and that Porsche, which could complicate that charge.
Definitely, and it looks like Rigo's hitting the wall there a little bit, which that's definitely going to help Make It Rain. Tap a little love taps there on the wall. That's definitely going to help Make It Rain close the gap that much more. As you can see, even Tango's closing in on him. But right now, it's just a matter of him just maintaining his focus here. And if he can hold on for the next 8.5 minutes, man, it's going to be quite a task here. I mean, you know, when you're in that car and you see that rearview mirror. Hopefully, it's not rearview mirror driving right now, because that's definitely gonna get you under stress and under pressure. And right now, at the end of the race, this is where all the drivers are at, is under stress, under pressure, and those drivers fighting for position are definitely gonna put you at that. But Tango right now at 11th.
He's trying to get his way around here right now.
Yeah. And right now you're at the 8-minute mark. I mean, Rigo goes ahead and allows that. I would have done the same thing. It's no position gain there on him. So there's no need to get anything messy there, Fluka. But like you said, Make It Rain is now only has one car in the way, and he's closing in on Fluka.
Just a little side note, Chad. Don't know if you guys caught that on the stream or not, but did you see those beautiful flames shooting out the back of that McLaren exhaust when he was downshifting coming into the chase? That was fantastic.
That was nice. That was beautiful from my angle too, man. But yeah, these guys are definitely gonna be pushing here, especially if they're close for position here. So this is gonna be interesting here for the A spot here.
I don't think we're going to see a big battle here. I think that I think that once Make It Rain gets into a position to make a good clean move on Rigo here, I think he might just let this happen. Clearly, obviously, that McLaren driver in behind has the pace, and if Rigo is fighting that race car, it might just be a smarter decision for him just to let that driver get through. So we'll have to see how this plays out here.
Absolutely, I was thinking the same thing. I mean, it's no chances in taking any risk at this point. I mean, you're under the 7-minute mark here, so taking any risk at this point is either A, you're gonna screw up the rest of your race, and maybe even screw up someone else's race. So now it's just about taking it home, especially if there's a significant gap between you and the guy in front of you or behind you. Anything in between, it's just no position gain, no position loss. So let's just take it home, bring it in, and lift the race next week, man. That's all. Get the points.
So it'll be interesting to see here. Making it rain, getting right on the bumper here of this Porsche now. So I guess the bigger question is now, I mean, Rigo has every right to defend to the bitter end of his life and hold that driver off for as long as he can. But as Choco was just saying, it's kind of a risk versus reward situation there. Clearly that Porsche is a hurt race car. You could see the physical damage on that race car. So ACC, every nick, every bump, every scrape along the wall causes a little bit of damage to these cars and can affect the drivability of these cars. So you can see that with McLaren now just yanking in on the slipstream. He's going to get in on the inside where all the bumps are. This is a tough spot to be for these lowered center gravity cars, but he manages to hold off. But now stuck on the outside coming into the chase. And, oh, no, Making It Rain gets it just a little bit wrong.
Yes, he goes off, and I tell you, the grass is going to win with those slicks, man. But it definitely gets back on track there, and now that definitely helps Rigo C24 alleviate some of that pressure. Again, there's still 5 minutes left in the race, so there's plenty of time left here for Make It Rain to maybe even close that gap some more. So we'll see how Make It Rain responds to this, and see how Rigo can hold on to this for the next 5 minutes, man. Because 5 minutes doesn't seem like a lot to us, but when you're on that track, man, 5 minutes seems like all day.
Especially when you're driving a hurt race car and trying to hold that final driver off for that battle at the end of the day. It seems like an eternity when you're that car.
Exactly, especially you while under pressure too, man. So yeah, it's I mean, that's a strategy for the driver, putting the other driver under pressure. That's all strategy there, if you're fighting for position or close to position. But again, if you get a blue flag and you're a lap down, there's a battle behind you, you are required to let those cars by.
It seems
especially
like we've had a pretty good run at that here. Nice defending, Rigo. Absolutely, John. We've seen that a bit here tonight. The blue flag cars have been, getting out of the way as quickly and safely as possible, even in some of the tougher sectors of the racetrack here. So the blue flag drivers have been doing a great job at realizing the situation at hand with the late lap traffic coming up in behind them here, from what I can see so far tonight anyways.
Absolutely. And Carsonic is back out there on the track, man. And that Ferrari he's currently in 11th right now. That Ferrari's quite damaged there, but definitely gonna take it to the end here. We're under the 4-minute mark here, with Johnny close in behind him, currently in second. But yeah, Carsonic definitely has some damage on that Ferrari there. And again, the mountain's definitely gonna give you some nicks and bumps. But nonetheless, he soldiered it out, man, and definitely is gonna take this all the way to the end. But yeah, great driving tonight, man, by the survivors.
Well, I gotta tell you, Making It Rain, he's knocked 2.5 seconds off of Rigo here just in this lap alone. So this is going to be a possible final lap showdown here for these two drivers before the end of this race.
Yeah, I'm looking at Make It Rain's car right now. I don't think that off track caused any damage. I don't think he got close to the wall. Maybe close, but didn't hit it at all. I don't think.
He just took out a brake marker. That was it. Just a braking sign. So I don't think he got any damage on that race car. He did a great job of keeping it under him. So battle back on here, ladies and gentlemen, and this is definitely going to be the spiciest spot on the racetrack to finish this race off here today. So let's stick with it here. We have, well, 2 minutes and 42 seconds down left on the clock.
Absolutely. Everything else is already determined at this point. I think we already know who our podium is for this evening, and our interviewees for tonight. Let me see. But yeah, I don't see any damage from Make It Rain. So I think Make It Rain has enough time here to see what kind of pressure he's going to put on Rigo, and see how Rigo responds to the pressure here. Now, the main thing is focus here. Don't lose the car. Especially in this situation, because right now Rain is chasing, man. He is going to push the car to the limits here at this point, and there's nothing behind him that's going to...
Oh, we got an accident up in front of the drivers. Oh boy, here we go, and it's Amave.
Responds very well. Good job on Amave for standing still. Great. He paid attention during the safety briefing, so that's one thing. We definitely, if you're new, stay still. Do not move, especially in that position, that spot right there, where if you move, you are definitely taking drivers out, and I'm so glad he did not move in that moment there, because he definitely would have destroyed this battle.
I see a lot of respect between our 9th and 8th place driver there. I mean, Make It Rain had the ample opportunity to take advantage.
And he moves on the inside there, yeah. He took that move on the inside, and Rigo, I don't think Rigo allowed it, but I think Rigo knows when and I've been in a situation, but Rigo's definitely closing in on him.
And he is right on him. He got a great exit through the chase there, and Rigo's like, haha, we are not done here yet.
So we're not going to let this, yeah. How does Rigo respond now to this? And I'm thinking it's going to be the last lap. So Rigo goes ahead and takes the outside there. And these guys are side by side. Now, how do they respond here at the end? I think this is the last lap for him. So Make It Rain is going to take the inside and maintain the inside. Rigo goes a little bit wide, but not enough to increase the gap there. So he's going to catch the slipstream on a straight. Great move here. The question is now, can Make It Rain last here? How does Rigo respond here? Now we're going to go up this mountain here. We see Rigo there flashing him. Get the hell out the way. But is that pressure? Let's see, man. We're down. Here we go.
All right, so Make It Rain definitely taking advantage here. And I was just going to say before that battle happened, he had an advantage to take the move going into the dipper there with Amavai sideways, and Make It Rain opting not to take that position away and battle that out fair and square. So I just want to give huge respect to Make It Rain right there, because he very easily could have made that move after Rigo had to go a little bit deep into the downhill section of the mountain to avoid that collision with Amave sideways on the track. So a great respect shown there by these two competitors as well.
Absolutely. I mean, that was great car control there. I have a kung fu grip, but man, the way those guys stay side by side and maintain their lines. Rigo went a little wide, but that's still within the line limits there. So that was great car control, man. Great awareness and knowing where you're at, knowing where your car. Oh, we have some damage there on Tango's hood there. You can see the hood a little popped up there.
And I felt like he just made a mistake ahead of these drivers just before they came down the mountain. He just had kind of got himself sorted out there. So fairly fortunate for these two drivers. And it's been a pretty exciting final few laps for Make It Rain and Rigo here for sure.
Yeah. Absolutely. And luckily for Tango also, the final lap, so nothing he has to worry about pit stop or the car affecting the rest of his race. It is pretty much it. So if it was going to happen, it was the perfect time to happen for Tango, and he goes ahead and goes from 11th to 10th. So he'll hit the top 10 even with the last minute damage. So it looks like Make It Rain is going to go ahead and take 8th from Rigo. So that's it. Race. Yep. Make It Rain is going to go ahead and take 8th. That was a great battle there. Great effort on both drivers, man. Great response from both drivers. So overall, man, I saw great performance there on that battle for 8th there. And at the end of the day, Rain just had enough to get by, enough in the car. And he just went ahead and made his move at the end there. And great driving, great etiquette from both drivers, and great etiquette from the whole field tonight. So again, we want to thank every driver tonight for tonight's participation. Great driving. I'm not sure if we had any incidents tonight, if any, or if we did, I hope it was minimal, and we'll let the stewards figure that out once those IRs get put in. But great racing tonight, man. What did you see from tonight's field, Goes? I thought the last part I came in was pretty good.
It was. We had a great race there for between our 3rd and 4th place finishers there, so that was fantastic. And then of course, that great battle between Make It Rain and Rigo at the end there for eighth and ninth place as well. But the hometown driver Butler Racing coming in with a nice solid 7th place finish for the Lamborghini here as well at Mount Panorama tonight. But it is Rapid Duck also with the fastest lap on the racetrack here tonight, and Johnny B in 2nd place for the Audi, and PBYA Cast, who's not in an Audi, he's in a BMW, sitting in 3rd place. So yeah, not sure what we got going on with race control there, but I think they hit the wrong button when they were putting up the unofficial results there. But followed by Hi, My Name Is in the Bentley, of course, Fluka with the Ferrari in 5th place, coming with the podium last week at Zolder as well. Darmel in 6th, Butler Racing again, hometown driver here in 7th today. Make It Rain with a great final laps battle there with Rigo. Going to take 8th place. Rigo did a great job. There was a very hurt race car at the end of the race there, and had a great battle there, and just losing out on 8th place there to Make It Rain. Tango 2 had a rough finish to the race there, but he got that car around the track in 10th. Carsonic in 11th.
Up that top 10.
Absolutely. Amavai at 12th, and boy, that GTR was all over the grid tonight. It was up front, it was in the middle, it was in the back, it was back in the middle. Crazy race for that driver here today. JDR at 13th, great race for JDR. I think they'll be happy with that one. The big Toblerone at 14th, Cletus in 15th. Not an ideal race for Cletus. He's a pretty quick driver, so he's probably he's probably just gonna want to forget about this one here and just move on to next week's Suzuka battles.
The Mountain One tonight, the Mountain One.
Yeah, absolutely. Norris Vet here, of course, parking that car about 2/3 of the way through the race. The car and driver just saying, nope, that's it. We've had enough here today. And Blocks some Roblox too high for this. He wasn't in, and Roblox also several laps down here as well tonight. So several drivers not making it through the mountain here tonight, but congratulations to those that did. And, we'll have some podium interviews here shortly. I'm sure the guys are just starting to filter into the podium box. So let's flip it over.
Absolutely. So, again, a big shout-out to our podium winners tonight. Again, winning tonight is going to be Rapid Duck in the 49 BMW, followed by Johnny B. Bangin, 2nd place, Audi, number 1 car. And rounding up the 3rd spot is going to be Yakas in the BMW 43 car. So congratulations to your top 3 finishers tonight. A great, like Ghost said, phenomenal racing. Nonetheless, Ghost is going to go ahead and do this race interview. Ghost, sir, thank you for having me tonight. I'm going to sign out for tonight, let you conduct this interview. And again, we appreciate you, brother. And again, we look forward to working with you, man. Again, I want to thank you. I can't thank you enough for what you're doing for our league, man, with this broadcasting.
Hey, no worries. Well, we appreciate you. We definitely love the racing we're seeing here at IRL on the ACC PS5 platform for sure. So keep doing what you guys are doing there, because it sure looks like those drivers are having fun out there, even when they're being tested.
Absolutely. Again, I want to thank everybody for viewing on your channel, on all channels, platforms. Thank you all for watching. If you want to be part of this league, racing will get, doesn't matter what skill level you're on. We're now implementing a driver rating where we are assigning licensing to our drivers, so we will get you your appropriate ranking so we can implement splits and implement seasons and implement some events here for our drivers. So doesn't matter what skill level you're on. If you want to be part of the league, make sure you follow our Discord. We're on SimGrid as well, IRL Racing. And make sure you join us there, and we'll welcome everybody, any skill set, male, female. We'll get you up to par, and we'll get you in the grid, and everyone can race. We won't tell you cannot race, and then we will never tell you that unless you're completely destroying everything out there where you need some driving before you come back on the field. Rarely do we encounter that. That would be the only time, but any skill level, you will be on the grid. So that's pretty much our league. And again, Ghost, I want to thank you so much again, sir. So I'm going to be signing out. I'm going to go ahead and let you conduct these interviews. And again, I want to thank everybody. Make sure you like and subscribe GT45 Gaming, RL Sim Racing. Please make sure you guys like and subscribe both channels. They'll help us grow. And again, thank you, Ghost. I'm going to go ahead and sign out for you tonight, sir.
All right, well, we appreciate you, my guy. And I'm sure we'll see each other again here in the commentary booth for ACC at IRL.
Yes, sir. All right, you have a blessed night, Ghost.
You too, my man. We appreciate you. And thanks for coming in and talking a little bit and letting the viewers know
Absolutely, man. Thanks for having me. Like I said, I was not going to come on. I was not going to jump on unless I got the blessing.
You're always welcome here, my guy. We appreciate you for sure. So.
All right, Ghost. I appreciate you, man.
Cheers, brother. All right, so we're just going to chill here. We're going to hang out. We're going to wait for those podium interviewees now. So sometimes they choose not to show up. Sometimes they do. It all depends on the driver. It depends on how they're feeling. They just raced a 90-minute endurance race at Mount Panorama. The majority of these drivers were in the full 1 hour practice ahead of time, and they did a 20-minute qualifier. So after about 3 hours of straight racing, the drivers necessarily are tired. They're exhausted. They're not thinking about coming to chat. Sometimes they're thinking about refueling the beast, refueling the body, getting the carbs back up, getting those refreshments, getting rehydrated. Of course, obviously debriefing with the race teams. There is a lot that goes on behind the scenes for a week in between each race. I mean, these guys go across the world. They travel to different racetracks all over the place. You betcha. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
How are you doing?
All right, good. We got our second place and our first place finisher here with us. We are missing one, so we will start talking with our second place finisher, our Audi driver here tonight, Johnny B. A little bit of an interesting race on the mountain here tonight. Of course, Mount Panorama always provides for some difficult racing. I guess, how do you prepare for a 90-minute endurance race with a fairly large grid? And I guess, how do you take it as it comes as the race progresses?
Oh, I don't even know where to start. Just try to get enough practice in before the race to make sure I didn't kill myself or anybody else. Can't be out of practice going there not knowing where you're supposed to be, when you're supposed to be there. I don't mind telling you though, that was exhausting. That was that was a tough 90 minutes. But yeah, I just try to be prepared as possible, and thankfully I had a decent outcome.
Absolutely. I mean, Rapid Duck, he got away clean and free right off the beginning of the race, and very quickly showed that he had some pretty crazy pace. So at some point, you probably realize that unless he makes that big vital error there some point in the race, you're kind of just worrying about what's going on there in second place. So it was fairly comfortable for you. When did you feel comfortable enough on the racetrack where it just kind of became, let's just get this timer ran out and again take this checkered flag home?
Probably before halfway, I'd say. Because my whole thing was trying to stay within, ideally, I was going to try to stay within 10 or 20 seconds of Duck just in case he had an issue or got tangled up. But once he got further away from me, I was just kind of, all right, we're going to keep banging the lap times here and just try to stay as far in front of everybody behind me as possible. And, if Duck managed to find trouble, then I'd hopefully be there to pick up the pieces, but wasn't the case, but happy to get a second nonetheless.
Absolutely, and I mean you came through with a pretty big I'm thinking about MX blocks. I'm here, same colored Audis. Last week, not your best finish here as Zolder with all that rain, but it's still a decent finish there. So coming in, we're almost done the season here. We got 2 weeks remaining. We got Suzuka here for round 7, and then we have the big finale race, of course. And I'm not telling you guys where that one is yet. You're gonna have to tune in next week to find that out. But what's your thought process, I guess, moving forward? Now you know where you're sitting in the standings. You had a great finish and a great result here tonight. Pretty efficient race here for you. Not a lot of trouble. What's that thought process now with the last 2 rounds moving forward here?
I'm going to try to stay consistent, see if we can't get on the podium at least in the last 2 races. Maybe squeak out a win. I feel pretty comfortable with both tracks we're coming up. But yeah, the last 2 weeks, Zolder was not good last week, and I wasn't able to make the race before that, so I've fallen back to 5th in the standings. So just trying to keep putting in high finishes, and then see if I can't find my way back to 1st before this ends in a couple weeks.
Absolutely, and I mean we head over to Suzuka for round 7. It's a couple of shorter style races. How do you feel about Suzuka?
I like Suzuka. I wouldn't say it's my quickest track, but it's not my slowest either. I feel pretty competitive there, and I definitely like the fact that it's the 2 sprint format. I think that kind of helps me out a little bit as opposed to if it was another 80-90 minute race like this. So I feel pretty good about it. I'm excited.
Absolutely, and I mean you've been looking good all season long. Obviously, we've missed a couple of one broadcast for sure here this season. I believe it was at Alton Park, but you've been looking strong all season long. So Audi, is that the choice of the Audi just because it's just one of the faster cars on the ACC platform right now? Or is that just a car you just really genuinely enjoy driving on the racetrack?
I generally enjoy it. It's a change of pace. Last season, I was in the BMW, which is almost a completely different, beast and how you got to drive it and what you got to do with it. So, but it's a little more free, a little more fun, and I really enjoy it. And it's quick too, which obviously makes it more enjoyable. But yeah, no, it's fun to drive.
Absolutely, it definitely looks fun to drive. We're gonna have to get in behind the wheel of that thing and give it a spin one of these days for sure ourselves here when we get an opportunity. But definitely making the Audi look good out there, and those gold colors definitely flashing off here in second place. So I guess how are the back markers? I mean, obviously Mount Panorama provided some challenges for a lot of the drivers here tonight. It definitely jumbled the field up here. How was it getting around some of the blue flag traffic here today on, well, a difficult racetrack for them sometimes to get out of the guy's way?
Uh, Rapid Duck could probably tell you more about it than I could. He was just doing through them. You just had to hope you caught him at the right place, right? You either caught him early in Sector 1 on the straight, or you caught him in the back part of in Sector 3. Because if you caught him in the mountain, you were just holding on. Not a lot of place to get by, and just hoping that nobody made a mistake in front of you and caught you up. But yeah, you just it's kind of luck of the draw on where you catch him and do the best.
100% true. I mean, it's either sector 1, sector 3. If you get any for sector 2, I mean, you just have to stuck behind them and wait for the long back straight. But I mean, if you try to pass them on the hill, it's gonna end up poorly for both of you. So just have to stay patient and then wait for the back straight.
Absolutely. And we did talk a little bit about that on the broadcast. The lead lap traffic going to have to show a little bit of resilience when if you get caught up just in the wrong spot of the mountain behind the blue flag traffic. And we've seen for the most part that's exactly the case. Everybody stayed pretty patient going through the mountain, and when there was a mistake, it seemed like for the most part the racers had enough room to react. So the drivers definitely reacting properly here on the track for the most part today. It was tough racing out there, but I guess anything you want to add to your race here tonight, Johnny B, and any shout outs you want to send out there?
No, I mean that pretty much covers it. Like I said, that was a long one. That was exhausting. It's time for a steak and about an 8-hour nap. But and then look forward to doing it again next week and keeping a little closer with Duck if I see him there. So.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations on a great race finish here tonight again, and thanks for taking a little bit of time to chat with us here tonight. We appreciate you.
Well, thank you as always. Great job.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, and the man of the hour here, this guy, he looks super solid out there today. Rapid Duck. I mean, in practice, you weren't necessarily the fastest guy on the track in practice, maybe not showing all your cards in practice there, but you got off to a great race start here, and you didn't really look back tonight. So is this one of your favorite tracks by chance to run on here?
Oh man, definitely not. I mean, even after 45 minutes, after an hour of the race, I was still sector 2, man, was just trying to survive, stay clean, stay consistent, don't do stupid mistakes. I mean, I saw my gap was pretty significant at some point of the race, but it was just about staying clean, staying consistent, not doing stupid mistakes, and waiting for back markers to pass them either sector 1, sector 3. But even the last laps, I mean, I cannot say I was 100% confident going through sector 2, but I mean, stay consistent, stay focused, and then luckily everything turned out to be just fine.
Now, was there a point in the race where you kind of knew you just had to just take it easy and just bring this thing home? Was it fairly early on in the race, or was it after you made your pit stop and you came out and you still had about a 30-second gap? At what point in the race did you know that you were in a really good position just to win this thing if you just kept it nice and clean?
Well, definitely. I mean, the first thing I had to push pretty hard. I mean, my pressures were slightly low, so I knew if I slowed down a little bit, my pressure would drop, and then I would have basically no grip. So for the second stint, I mean, I adjusted my pressure, so I was able to drive more comfortably, not really push that much in sector 2, but still, I mean, I was just controlling the gap all the time. I saw the gap was still rising even during the second stint. I mean, second stint was basically avoiding trouble from back markers and not doing stupid mistakes. I mean, on Mount Panorama, you miss one braking spot in sector 2 and you are done. You get 30 seconds of damage, you cannot drive, you cannot go back to the pits. So I still had to stay consistent and focused, but I mean, stint 2 was basically bringing it home and staying clean.
Absolutely, and it definitely looked like you were very consistent on the racetrack there today as well. You stuck pretty in those low 2-minute range laps there for the majority of the race, and I guess really your challenge for the most part was again that blue flag traffic. So for the most part, did you just have good timing on that, or did it really require a lot of patience and good decision making?
I mean, I cannot say I was relaxed for any part of the race. I mean, even after an hour, even after hour 20 minutes of the race, you still have to stay super focused to just survive the uphill section in the mountains. I mean, I cannot say I was relaxed for any part of the race, maybe besides the pit stop. But I mean, you still, you lose focus for 1 second, you're on the wall and your race is over. So focus and focus. And second stint was just bring it home and stay clean and stay consistent. Avoid back markers. Don't try to push them to make any stupid mistakes in sector two, and just wait for your chance and then stay clean.
Absolutely. So, tough race tonight. Not the longest race on the docket this season. Obviously, your finale here is going to be a 2-hour endurance race, but definitely getting a tough one out of the way. So, I guess, how do you feel about heading to Suzuka with the two shorter sprint style races next week?
Oh man, it's gonna still super hard. I mean, Suzuka, very enjoyable track. Sector one for the S's, then sector two, super challenging, and 130R. I mean, one stupid mistake, you're out of the race. Definitely will be getting some hours in before the race on Saturday, on Friday, but definitely looking forward to it. I think I should be pretty competitive there, but we'll see. Qualifying seems like qualifying will be crucial for the race. Definitely we're trying to get some practice beforehand, but already looking forward to it. Just hope it's gonna stay dry. Optimum track would be ideal for me. We'll see how it goes.
Again, not the strongest race for you last week at Zolder. You had a tough race there. The BMW ended up having to get put on the truck a little bit early there, but you came out tonight with a very, very strong performance. So 2 rounds left to go. Just lots of practice moving forward now.
Yep, I mean definitely. I mean, I'm going to have a race at Suzuka on Tuesday in the other series, so that's going to be a good practice for me too. But definitely getting some laps during the weekend before the sprint series, and hope for a good outcome.
Absolutely. Well, we look forward to seeing what you can do next week at Suzuka, and congratulations on a really dominant performance here at Bathurst this week. It was a lot of fun to watch, and can't wait to see what you bring for us for the rest of the season.
All right, thank you very much.